Hello everyone, I'm very glad that you listened to my story. Please give me a follow and like the video if you enjoyed it. Feel free to comment and provide feedback so I can improve the sound quality. Yes, we invite you to listen to part 2 of the series. Chapter 22. The giant shadow reappears in the reservoir. Ding! 30,000 evolution points deducted. Commencing evolution. Another 2 hours passed. Wang Mang gradually woke up in the cave. At the same time, Wang Mang also felt that his body size had once again increased by a large margin. His body length had also reached an even more terrifying level. He would not know how much he had grown until he checked the system. Just then, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained a skill, Peerless Poison Fang. Peerless Poison Fang possesses a poison 200 times as toxic as a king cobra's. Once bitten, the target has a fatality rate of 99%. After hearing the system's words, Wang Mang was overjoyed. As expected, he obtained another skill. Although it was a little overlapping, this skill was more than just a strong venom. This Peerless Poison Fang was incredibly deadly. It was 200 times more poisonous than a king cobra. It was as potent as the strongest snake venom in the world. In other words, Wang Mang now possessed the unique poison of the most venomous snake in this world. Furthermore, Wang Mang's physique was an added advantage that those venomous snakes did not have. After all, Wang Mang was enormous now, and the amount of poison he stored was also very large. Now, even an apex predator would be doomed once he managed to bite them. The only exception was if the target that was bitten was immune to Wang Mang's Peerless Poison Fang. It was precisely because of this that Wang Mang was so excited. The lethality of his trump card, Poison Fang, had once again increased greatly. However, at this moment, the system's voice sounded in Wang Mang's mind again. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have obtained the 100 square meter space. 100 square meter space allows the host to have 100 square meters of space to move around. It can be used to store things, but not living things. After hearing the system's voice and explanation, Wang Mang was stunned. He did not expect to obtain such a thing. This was simply an invisible portable storage. Wang Mang was unimaginably excited. With this storage space, it would be much more convenient for him to carry things in the future. After all, Wang Mang was no longer a human. It was indeed troublesome for a giant python to carry things. With this thing, it would be much more convenient in the future. Wang Mang was in a good mood right now. Although he did not obtain any new skills from the 2 evolutions this time, he still gained a lot. First, the toxicity of his Poison Fang increased. Now, he had even obtained a portable space. It was a bountiful harvest indeed. Thinking of this, Wang Mang said happily in his heart, "System, show my personal information." The next moment, his personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, Mutated Titan Python. Status, Adult. Status, Healthy. Body, 18 meters long and 1,300 kilograms heavy. Combat Strength, Bite Force 2,000 kilograms, Speed 60 kilometers per hour. Skills, Deathbind, Peerless Poison Fang, Skin Camouflage, Defense Strengthening, Super Self-Healing. Special, Storage Space. Evolution Points, 1750/60,000. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. His current size had already reached 18 meters. To put that into perspective, a single story was only 3 to 4 meters tall. Wang Mang's current body length was equivalent to the height of a 5-story building. His body was even thicker than a human waist. It was too easy for Wang Mang to swallow an adult. Right now, it was not an exaggeration to call him a colossus. It was because, with Wang Mang's size and body length, he could be considered a true python among pythons. At this size, Wang Mang could afford to enter his own reservoir to take a look. However, after pondering for a while, Wang Mang finally decided to wait until his body length reached 20 meters before heading back. In other words, after the next evolution, Wang Mang was prepared to enter Huanshan Reservoir to see what was inside. At the same time, Wang Mang also wanted to know what kind of behemoth was hiding in this strange reservoir. After taking a deep breath, Wang Mang left the nest. Panther, who was standing guard outside the cave entrance, was even more stunned when it saw its master grow bigger again. Especially when he saw Wang Mang rearing up, Black Panther was even more shocked. It did not understand why its master's body had grown so quickly. How did it increase so much in the blink of an eye? Of course, although Panther was confused, it did not express its opinion. After seeing its master come out, it circled around Wang Mang and wagged its tail sweetly. Wang Mang laughed and said, "Let's go. We're going for a walk." After saying that, Wang Mang wandered around the forest near the reservoir. To be honest, Wang Mang could not wait to enter the reservoir. However, just to be safe, Wang Mang decided to wait until the next evolution. The main reason was that Wang Mang wanted to see if he could obtain another skill during his next evolution. This was because among Wang Mang's skills, there was no skill that was stronger in the water. If something really happened in the water, it would be very disadvantageous for Wang Mang. Although he was not fully prepared, Wang Mang was still willing to make more preparations. While Wang Mang was wandering around the forest of his own reservoir, he realized that more people had come from his reservoir to fish. Not only that, among these people, there were even teams that appeared. There were also teams that were live streaming their activities. This made Wang Mang very puzzled. He had not appeared for the past 2 months. Why did the popularity of his reservoir increase instead of decrease? When Wang Mang quietly approached one of the fishing streamers and overheard their discussion, he was even more surprised. "Friends, this reservoir is the place where a certain fishing enthusiast filmed a huge creature in the water a few days ago. It's said that this reservoir is 300 to 400 meters deep. It's indeed very likely that something huge will appear in such a large reservoir. It's even possible that it's an unknown giant. Furthermore, brothers in the live stream, did you notice that a lot of animal injuries have happened recently? Some time ago, a victim in Dali was bitten to death by a husky. There's also a wildlife incident in Xizjiang. Also, someone filmed an unknown giant in the waters of Qiantang River. Things like this have happened a lot recently, right? We're going to visit this reservoir in over the next few days to see if there really is an unknown monster." At this moment, this fishing male streamer was speaking frankly to the live stream audience on camera. Hearing this, Wang Mang, who was in the forest not far away, was a little stunned. Were there really more animal attacks recently? Why was that? Could it be because of the Beast God Space members? Wang Mang guessed that it had something to do with the Beast God Space. Just then, Wang Mang suddenly saw layers of water ripples on the surface of the reservoir in the distance. Immediately after, Wang Mang witnessed a shocking scene. In the middle of the reservoir, a huge black fish that was more than 3 meters long suddenly jumped out of the water. However, before this big black fish could fall into the water again, huge waves rose in the water. Another terrifying black shadow leaped out of the water, stirring up a shocking tsunami. In the next moment, the huge black shadow that jumped out of the water opened its bloody mouth. It actually swallowed the terrifying 3-meter-long black fish and immediately disappeared into the water. Chapter 23. Wang Mang is about to evolve again. After seeing this scene, Wang Mang was completely stunned. In fact, all the people fishing in the reservoir were stunned. Oh my god. Was that AF** kingfish? It's too big. Too big. It's definitely not a fish. Water monster. It's definitely a water monster. There's a water monster in this reservoir. F***ck. Are you sure you can really catch such a big thing? The fish from before was at least 3 meters long and it was swallowed in one bite. Isn't that a water monster? All of a sudden, the nearby people who had come to fish were dumbfounded. One after another, they broke out of their daze and cursed. Although everything had happened very quickly, most of the fishing teams had seen it. The terrifyingly big fish that leaped out of the water. The huge black shadow that swallowed the big fish in one bite. They had seen it all with their own eyes. They even thought that they were seeing things. However, it would have been possible for one person to see wrongly. But for everyone here to make the same mistake. This was obviously impossible. That undoubtedly proved that what they saw earlier was real. The incomparably terrifying scene from before was definitely real. That shocking scene was still vivid in their minds. A terrifyingly large fish jumped out of the water. Then, it was swallowed by an even larger unknown black shadow from the lake. If the huge creature that jumped out of the water earlier was indeed a fish, that was already shocking enough. However, was the unknown black shadow that jumped out of the water and swallowed the big fish also a fish? None of the fishermen present saw it clearly, and all of them were uncertain. It was precisely because of this that they did not dare to jump to conclusions. However, they were sure of one thing. There was indeed an unknown huge object in this reservoir. For example, they did not see what kind of fish the 3-meter-long fish was. However, such a terrifyingly big fish was directly swallowed by an unknown huge creature. In that case, the unknown giant that swallowed this terrifying fish was probably even more terrifying. Otherwise, how could it swallow a 3-meter-long fish in one bite? Thinking of this, the fishermen present were all astounded. At the same time, the streamer who was explaining earlier widened his eyes in shock. Although the previous scene was just a glimpse, he happened to see it inadvertently. Wasn't that 2F** king big? Are you sure you can catch such a huge unknown creature? Moreover, was the terrifying black shadow that swallowed the big fish really a fish? However, he felt that the giant shadow that appeared earlier did not look like a fish, but a water monster. Thinking of this, the streamer sucked in a breath of cold air and quickly explained what he had seen to the audience in the live stream. This caused the audience in his live stream to explode in the comment section. Similarly, many people who came to the reservoir to fish also gathered together and discussed what they had just seen. Similarly, Wang Mang's heart was heavy when he saw the huge black shadow in the water. The giant shadow that appeared briefly did not completely emerge from the water. Only its terrifying mouth broke the water's surface, and that was enough for it to swallow the 3-meter-long fish. Based on this alone, the size of this huge creature was probably not much different from the current Wang Mang. After all, the evolved Wang Mang could also swallow a 3-meter-long fish in one bite. However, the huge black shadow from before was definitely very big in size. It might even be larger than him. After all, Wang Mang's body was mostly long, not large. Just you wait. It won't be long before I see what you really are. Wang Mang arched his 3-meter-tall head and stared coldly at the surface of the reservoir. Of course, Wang Mang was not sure that this guy was the one who killed him. After all, forgot the unknown giant black shadow, just the terrifying 3-meter-long fish was enough to easily pull him into the reservoir. In other words, his reservoir was even more terrifying than he had imagined. Not only that, if Wang Mang's guess was correct, word of this incident would probably spread. In the future, more people would come to his reservoir to fish. After all, many people had witnessed the earlier scene with their own eyes. Similarly, they confirmed that there was indeed an unknown giant in this reservoir. However, such an unknown giant was no longer something a human could catch. Such a behemoth was not something these fishermen could provoke. Wang Mang looked at the vast reservoir in front of him, already eager to give it a try. How many evolution points could such a big fellow give him if he devoured it? Just thinking about it made Wang Mang excited. Judging from the 3-meter-long fish, the aquatic resources and fish in his reservoir were really abundant. At least from the looks of these fish, his reservoir was indeed much more complicated than it looked on the surface. As for the rest of this world, to be honest, Wang Mang was getting more and more stumped by it. At the very least, when Wang Mang was alive, he had never heard of the existence of the beast god dimension. He had always thought that these so-called water monsters were just rumors spread by word of mouth in many places. However, from the looks of it, this world was not as simple as it seemed. Shaking his head inwardly, Wang Mang took another 2 turns around the forest. After confirming that there were no new discoveries, Wang Mang slithered back home. In the blink of an eye, another 2 days passed. On the 3rd day, as expected, his father sent more pigs. Moreover, this time he sent a total of 200 pigs. These 200 pigs completely excited Wang Mang. That night, Wang Mang visited his small pig farm again. Wang Mang slaughtered and devoured all 200 pigs in an entire night. The entire small pig farm was the scene of a massacre. All the pigs were killed by Wang Mang. This time, the 200 pigs provided Wang Mang with almost 90,000 evolution points. As for exactly how many evolution points they provided, Wang Mang did not know. All he knew was that the evolution points he obtained were enough for him to evolve this time. Therefore, After devouring more than 200 pigs, Wang Mang left the small pig farm and headed straight for his cave. After returning to the cave, Wang Mang could not wait to chant, "System, start evolving." As soon as he finished speaking, the system's voice sounded. Ding! 60,000 evolution points have been successfully deducted. Commencing evolution. Chapter 24. Reaching 20 meters long. 2 hours later. The sky outside the cave had just lit up when Wang Mang woke up from his evolution. He felt that his strength had become even more terrifying. His body became even thicker. He had grown longer again too. Currently, Wang Mang's size was already comparable to 1.5 times that of an adult's waist circumference. He was much longer as well. Wang Mang wanted to know just how strong he had become. Therefore, Wang Mang said excitedly, "System, show my personal information." As soon as he finished speaking, his personal information appeared in front of him. Host, Wang Mang. Type, Mutated Titan Python. Status, Adult. Status, Healthy. Body, 20 meters long and 1,900 kilograms heavy. Combat Strength, Bite Force 3,000 kilograms, Speed 80 kilometers per hour. Skills, Deathbind, Peerless Poison Fang, Skin Camouflage, Defense Strengthening, Super Self-Healing. Special, Storage Space. Evolution Points, 13, 500/120, 000. After reading his personal information, Wang Mang felt extremely proud. He even had the urge to laugh out loud. His size had finally exceeded 20 meters. What did 20 meters mean? It meant he was 6 floors tall. In addition, his body was as thick as 2 adults hugging each other. In other words, he was as thick as the tires of a large truck. Wang Mang's current size was comparable to the giant pythons in the movies. His weight was close to 2 tons. That meant he was already as heavy as an ordinary adult elephant on land. Other than that, Wang Mang discovered that ever since he had reached 20 meters in size, his weight increases significantly, and even his speed had improved visibly. His bite force had reached an exaggerated 3 tons. The current Wang Mang, be it in terms of size or in every other aspect, was undoubtedly an apex predator, standing at the very top of the terrestrial food chain. Just then, the system's voice sounded again. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have obtained a skill, underwater breathing. Underwater breathing allows the host to breathe and live in the water like a fish. Hearing the system's voice, Wang Mang could not help but be overjoyed. He really got what he needed. Snakes were reptiles that breathed through their lungs. Therefore, they could not breathe in the water. This was because fish breathe through their gills, unlike snakes. Snakes, like other terrestrial animals, breathe through their lungs. However, some snakes could hold their breath in the water for a long time, something humans could only dream of. Even then, it was basically impossible for snakes to dominate in the water because they could not breathe in the water for a long time. For example, the anaconda was also a python, but it could not breathe underwater either. It could only stay in the water for a long time, but not forever. Snakes are cold-blooded, so they did not need to breathe oxygen to regulate their body heat. That meant they did not require that much oxygen. There were many segmented airbags in a water snake's body. A water snake could not breathe in the water, but it could stay in the water for a long time. However, it still needed to go to the surface to breathe. Now, however, after Wang Mang obtained the special ability to breathe underwater, he no longer needed to worry about breathing. It would probably be no different from walking on land to him. Forget staying in the water for longer periods of time, he could probably even live in the water now. Wang Mang was truly overjoyed. Now that he had this skill, even if he fought in the water, his combat strength would not decrease greatly. In fact, there were advantages and disadvantages for pythons in the water. The advantage was that they had increased swimming speed. The disadvantage was naturally the limitation of breathing in the water. Although cold-blooded animals did not have high requirements for oxygen, they still had to surface to breathe. However, now that Wang Mang had obtained the skill, once he used it, he no longer needed to come up for air. When the time came to fight in the water, he would not have to worry about being drowned if the fight dragged on for too long. Yes. Snakes could be drowned, even water snakes. This was because water snakes were not aquatic creatures. They did not even have gills. After stretching his body, Wang Mang prepared to slither around the reservoir again before getting ready to dive in. However, what Wang Mang did not know was that the employees in charge of their small farm were stunned when they saw the silent small farm. The situation this time was the same as the previous few times. The pigs that had been shipped over not long ago would definitely disappear the next day. Not only that, all the pig pens were left in a bloody mess. The entire small pig farm was filled with the strong smell of blood. Seeing this scene, the employees in charge of the farm looked at each other and gasped. Actually, they had already guessed it. There was something wrong with this farm. Their boss was also extremely suspicious. Every time, he would send pigs to this small farm. However, the pigs would disappear the next day. The previous few times, a few pigs were left behind. But this time, not a single one was left. 200 adult pigs disappeared in one night. What was left behind was the small farm with every pigpen covered in blood. Even though they had already experienced this several times, the employees still felt a chill run down their spines when they encountered this situation again. They really could not understand why the pigs would disappear the next day. Where the hell did these pigs go? It was 200 whole pigs. Even if wild beasts got to them, it would take a long time for them to be devoured whole. What the hell was this thing? What could eat 200 pigs in one night? Their curiosity intensified. At the same time, a chill ran down their spines. Say, what exactly is going on? Once or twice is fine, but it's always like this. Just thinking about it makes my hair stand on end. At this moment, one of the women could not help but say in a trembling voice. Chapter 25. The Greedy Old Reservoir Guard. Hearing this, the other employees looked at each other and fell silent. Finally, a middle-aged man broke the silence and shrugged. What else can we do? Clean it up and report it truthfully when we get back. We can get off work after cleaning up. We can play cards and go back to accompany our families. It's not like they'll pay us less, and it'll be so easy. Besides, although this place is a little strange, the work is easy and the salary is high. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask and don't care about what you shouldn't care about. Keep your curiosity in check. With that, the middle-aged man went to get a water gun and began to clean the small farm. Seeing this, the other women and middle-aged men thought for a moment and began to work. He was right. Although this place was very strange, the salary was high. And the work was easy. Their everyday tasks took barely any effort at all. It was much easier than the large farm next door. Every 2 to 3 days, they would get the day off. Every time the pigs here disappeared, there would always be a 2-day holiday. However, their doubts and curiosity grew. At the same time, Wang Mang circled the forest beside the reservoir again. In reality, Wang Mang also felt a bit of a headache. It was a tad difficult for him to enter the water now. This was because more and more people were fishing from the reservoir these few days. To be honest, Wang Mang was even considering asking his father to stop the fishing activities. However, after thinking about it, Wang Mang decided against it. If fishing was prohibited, it would make people feel that there was something strange about the reservoir. Add that to the fact that news about the huge shadow that had appeared in the reservoir a few days ago had probably spread far and wide. Everyone must know that there was a water monster in their reservoir by now. Therefore, there was no stopping these curious fishermen. His hypothesis was right. Just then, in a villa beside the mountain road at the foot of the reservoir, Elder Yang, who was in charge of guarding the reservoir, sat expressionlessly in the courtyard. There were 17 or 18 angry fishermen standing in front of him. There were people of all ages among them, and there were some women too. There was even a female streamer. At this moment, all of them had furious expressions on their faces. The old man in charge of the reservoir was too infuriating. After he learned that there were water monsters in the reservoir, the old man informed Wang Mang's father of the news. With the help of Wang Mang's father, Elder Yang immediately started to raise the price of entry. Originally, fishing here would cost 500 yuan a day. Things were different now. Now, it cost 1,000 yuan a day. Moreover, each person was only allowed one fishing rod. All of them had to leave before 6 p.m. too. That's too much, old man. The last time I came here, I was only charged 500 yuan a day. Now, you're charging 1,000 yuan a day, and each of us only gets a single fishing rod. Lil Su's pretty face was filled with anger. She was the streamer who had been scared *less by Wang Mang not too long ago. However, ever since the video spread, she had received a lot of attention and her viewership had increased by a lot. That was why she came to this reservoir to fish again. In addition, the news of the sudden appearance of the water monster in the reservoir had spread. The popularity of Huanshan Reservoir had caused a lot of heated discussions and spread online. Elder Yang, who had a tobacco pipe in his mouth, glanced sideways at the beautiful streamer and said lazily, "Sorry, but pay up or get going. By the way, those who don't fish are not allowed to go to the reservoir. My son and grandson will chase them away regularly. Oh, if you're just chilling in the area and not fishing, you have to pay 300 yuan a day." Upon hearing Elder Yang's words, the faces of the fishing crowd turned red with fury. A few of the youngsters could not help but grit their teeth and curse. "Old man, you're so shady. It's one thing for you to raise the price, but you're charging us money just to sit there. You're shamelessly greedy. *CKU, do you have to be so scummy?" Elder Yang curled his lips and sneered. "I didn't ask you to fish here. If you don't want to fish, get lost. In any case, there are many others here. You guys are nothing to me." After saying that, Elder Yang lay on the old chair and ignored the furious crowd. Seeing this, everyone was incomparably angry, but there was nothing they could do. They could only hand over the money sullenly. Then, they all received the fishing vouchers given to them by old Master Yang's sons. After leaving this place, the beautiful Lil Su said angrily, "Everyone, did you see that? This old man is terrible. He's so arrogant." As soon as they saw that their reservoir was popular, they immediately raised the prices. "If I didn't want to come and see if there was a chance to catch sight of the water monster, I wouldn't have suffered this humiliation." At this point, the beautiful streamer, Lil Su, gritted her teeth in anger. The last time she came to the reservoir, she peed her pants because of Wang Mang. However, she gained a lot of popularity and fans. She was a little annoyed at the time, but her mood improved soon enough. However, she was really angered by this old man now. When they arrived at the reservoir, though, they realized that there were tons of people fishing in this reservoir. There were already more than 300 people fishing in this reservoir today. No wonder the old man in charge of guarding the reservoir was so arrogant. Obviously, they were not the first to be charged a higher price. When they saw so many people, the anger in their hearts dissipated a lot. Just then, the beautiful streamer, Lil Su, raised her phone and took a photo. "Look, my lovelies. There are so many people coming to the reservoir to fish today. If they received 1,000 yuan per person, not including those who just came to watch, then the reservoir's income today alone would have already reached 300,000 yuan. Lil Su was extremely surprised. When she came here 2 months ago, there were not many people. In fact, only a handful of people came here to fish. Now, though, there were more than 300 people scattered around the reservoir. There were too many people fishing. Moreover, some of them even ordered takeout. Were there delivery services here in this rural mountain? Out of curiosity, she walked to a fisherman who was eating and asked, "Hi, did you bring your own food for this fishing trip? Or?" The fisherman looked up. When he saw the beautiful Lil Su holding her phone in her hand, he immediately knew that she was a streamer. Seeing this, the man could not help but shake his head and complain, "I didn't bring any food. If you want to eat, you can call the old man. I'm talking about the old man in charge of guarding the reservoir. They're also in charge of delivering food. You can get 2 vegetable dishes and a bottle of water for 50 yuan. If you want 2 vegetable dishes, 2 types of meat, and 1 bottle of water, it's 100 yuan. If you want to buy water alone, do you see that young man over there? Ask him for a bottle of water for 15 yuan. He's the youngest son of the old man guarding the reservoir. Oh, he has instant noodles everywhere, but it's a little expensive. A bowl of instant noodles costs 25 yuan. Chapter 26. Another chance encounter with the hunting team. Upon hearing this, the beautiful streamer, Lil Su, was stunned. That's too much. A bowl of instant noodles costs 25 yuan. The fisherman shrugged and said, "It's an exclusive business. No one else is allowed to sell things here. He's the son of the old man in charge of the reservoir. Do you understand? Only their family is allowed to sell anything here. Upon hearing this, the audience in Little Sue's live stream exploded in the comments. Burned by love, damn, that's evil. That old man from before was already bad enough. His family is even worse. Fishy loves to fish. I've never seen such a shameless person. Huanshan Reservoir Fisher, that old man is so arrogant. His boss has been contracting this reservoir for decades. CPDD, you're the only one for me, that's crazy. They get hundreds of thousands of yuan in a day. The reservoir boss is going to make a killing. Fishing King, this speed of earning money feels more promising than being a streamer. Most importantly, this is what it means to earn money without doing anything. Lady Stealer, I've come up with a way to make a fortune. Do you have a partner? King, let's also rent a reservoir and think of a way to get a water monster. Alps, are you my brother Alberti? Where are you gonna get a water monster? Why don't you change the world while you're at it? Sea Fishing Aficionado, do you know how big the monster in the reservoir is? A 3-meter-long fish was swallowed in one bite. Just think about it. Adorable cool, why do I feel like the streamer is here to look for the python? Hurry up and run, python. Don't let the streamer catch you. Reckless driver, adorable cool is right. Python, run for your life. Otherwise, she'll play with you and suffocate you to death. Eat me out, I suspect the two upstairs are driving. I still have evidence. Seeing the comments in the live stream, the beautiful streamer, Lil Sue, could not help but blush. She felt that she should not have come to this reservoir. Look at what these people in the live stream were saying. However, at the mention of the python last time, Little Sue still felt a lingering fear. She did not want to encounter it again. She just wanted to see if she could see the water monster. Therefore, she led the live broadcast team in search of fishing spots. At the same time, just then, Wang Mang was also looking for a place to enter the reservoir. These fishermen were scattered all over the reservoir. Wang Mang had to find a place to ensure that he would not be discovered before entering the reservoir. Hence, after going around in circles, Wang Mang was already very far away from his territory. At this moment, in the forest. As soon as Wang Mang entered this unfamiliar forest, he saw a shocking scene. He saw a bear fighting a very large wolf. When they heard Wang Mang moving, both the bear and wolf stopped. They turned to look at Wang Mang. When they saw the colossal Wang Mang, they could not help but widen their eyes in shock. The big gray wolf even spoke in the human tongue. F***ck. With that, the gray wolf turned around and ran. On the other hand, when the big bear saw Wang Mang, it exclaimed, "It's you again, big python." After hearing this, Wang Mang was stunned for a moment. He felt that this bear looked familiar. Soon, Wang Mang recognized the bear. Wasn't this the bear he had encountered and killed some time ago? Did someone from the beast god space come here again? And he encountered them again. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but be extremely surprised. Then, Wang Mang saw the bear turn around and run away without a word. Seeing this, Wang Mang hurriedly said, "Wait." Hearing Wang Mang's voice, the big bear was shocked. It turned around and looked at Wang Mang, stunned. "You can actually speak." Wang Mang nodded and said indifferently, "Don't run. I won't kill you this time." The big bear hesitated for a moment, but it still maintained a vigilant distance and stared at Wang Mang. Clearly, this big bear still had a lingering fear of Wang Mang. After all, he had been killed by Wang Mang not long ago. Moreover, his captain, Bengal Tiger, and his teammate, Gorilla, had all been killed by Wang Mang. Wang Mang did not even have to break a sweat. Therefore, it was not an exaggeration to say that the bear was already afraid of Wang Mang. Not only that, what terrified the bear even more was that Wang Mang's body size had grown again. By a significant amount, too. The last time he saw Wang Mang, he was only 14 meters tall, right? How many days had it been? Less than half a month. Wang Mang had gone from 14 meters to a full 20 meters. That was horrifying. Did he take growth hormones or something? Therefore, after meeting Wang Mang, the big bear did not even consider resisting. His first reaction was to run away. Last time, it was because of Wang Mang that their team failed the mission. He did not want to fail the mission again because of Wang Mang. If Wang Mang had not said that he would not kill him, he would have fled like the big gray wolf. However, what puzzled the big bear was, why was Wang Mang calling out to him? Was he really not going to kill him? Wang Mang saw the big bear's confusion and said slowly, Wang Ting's team actually dared to toy with me last time. They didn't give me the benefits they promised, so of course I won't let them off easily. If you encounter their team, don't hold back. Help me kill them all. Of course, in return, if your team meets me again in the future, as long as the mission is not difficult to complete, I can help you. Chapter 27. Working with the hunting team. After hearing Wang Mang's words, the big bear immediately came to a realization. No wonder this terrifying python did not kill him. He needed their help for something. After understanding the general gist of the situation, Big Bear began to gloat inwardly. Serves you right. You didn't get any benefits after killing our entire team last time, did you? Then again, the Big Bear was very tempted by Wang Mang's promise of a favor. Others might not know how ferocious Wang Mang was, but their hunting team knew him well. After the mission failed back then, he learned from his captain that the latter had died in a few minutes. This was only a while ago, but look at Wang Mang now. His size had become even more terrifying and he was even more powerful. His combat strength had probably become even more formidable. To be honest, in the Big Bear's opinion, a colossus like Wang Mang was definitely on top of the terrestrial pyramid. This Big Bear did not even know what kind of animal on land could match Wang Mang. Therefore, faced with Wang Mang's favorable conditions, the bear was very tempted. All right. I promise you to help you, but you have to help us complete this mission. When we encounter the hunting team again, we will definitely help you eliminate them. In fact, as long as you can help us obtain enough points, we can even buy a mission tracking scroll and chase them into their mission. Wang Mang's snake eyes lit up when he heard this. He was only giving it a try. At first, he had not planned to take revenge on Wang Ting's team so soon. From the looks of it, however, there was much more to the Beast God Space's gameplay than he had imagined. Wang Mang immediately opened his large mouth and said, Okay. What mission do you have this time? How do you want me to help you? The Big Bear hurriedly smiled and said, This time, our mission is 2 Kings Battle Royale Team Mission. There are 2 top teams, the Little King's team and Big King's team respectively. These 2 teams will be responsible for hunting down all the other teams. The rules of the game are that there are no rules. The mission duration is 5 days. If you can survive 5 days, it will be over. However, you can't leave the range of the mission's grounds. There are 10 teams on this mission. The Big King's and Little King's teams can't attack each other. There are no other rules. They can hunt the other teams, and the other teams can hunt them or each other. Wang Mang immediately understood and said, There are a total of 10 teams, right? 2 of them are very strong. They are the Big King's and Little King's teams. They can't kill each other, but they can join forces to kill you. Your 8 teams can hunt each other without any mission restrictions. Big Bear hurriedly nodded. That's right. This is our mission. As long as we can survive for 5 days without being hunted, we'll have successfully completed the mission. Wang Mang nodded. All right. I can help you complete the mission, but don't forget what you promised me. The Big Bear immediately promised, Don't worry. Our hunting team has a very good reputation. We can even tell you our real identity and home address. You won't have to worry about us. After hearing the Big Bear's promise, Wang Mang nodded and said, Where do you want to go? With me around, your mission should be very easy. Hearing Wang Mang's confident words, the Big Bear could not help but nod to himself. Wang Mang was telling the truth. Even the Big King and Little King's teams did not have the slightest advantage over Wang Mang in terms of size. That was why he said that with Wang Mang's size, it was almost impossible for him to find a rival on land. Thinking of this, the Big Bear's mood was lifted into the clouds. Even the gloominess of being hunted by Wang Mang was swept away. If they had Wang Mang's help in this mission, their team's gains would be incomparably huge. Compared to their previous team battle missions, they would gain so much more. The last time Wang Mang had intervened, they had suffered heavy losses. Not only had they not obtained any benefits, but they had suffered grievous injuries. Fortunately, with Wang Mang's help this time, they would definitely make up for their losses and more. In fact, they might even be able to make it straight to level 3. Level 3 was a milestone for them in terms of strength. Currently, this bear could only be considered a level 3 creature at most. The big bear guessed that Wang Mang's strength was at least equivalent to a level 5 creature, or even higher. He did not know what level the python had reached. It had probably reached the level of a level 6 creature. What entailed a level 6 creature? It was very difficult for land creatures to reach level 6. Only sea creatures could easily reach level 6. A level 6 creature was also very terrifying. They had already completely broken the genetic limit of living beings. Their strength would have transcended to another terrifying level. Furthermore, the levels here were decided a little differently. For example, a wild lion at the peak of its strength would be a level 2 creature at most. However, with the help of the beast god space, a lion that was still underage could already reach the strength of a level 2 creature. As another example, an adult elephant at its peak would be level 3. With the help of the beast god space, though, this adult elephant's strength could reach that of a level 4 or even a level 5 creature. In short, in the beast god space, the levels of the animals were divided according to their strength. As a result, Big Bear's guess was actually completely wrong. Wang Mang's battle prowess was not something he could calculate. In fact, Wang Mang himself did not even know what level his current strength had reached. However, Wang Mang was confident that he was already an apex predator on land, at the top of the food chain. Just then, Wang Mang saw the bear, who was leading the way in the forest, suddenly charge toward a mountain goat. Wang Mang was a little surprised. When the goat saw the huge bear pouncing at it, it was so frightened that it hurriedly tried to escape. However, this big bear was extremely fast and chased after it easily. It chomped down on the big goat ferociously. The huge mountain goat could not help but beg weakly in fear. "Don't kill me, please. I don't have any points left. Please don't kill me, okay?" However, the big bear was unmoved by the big goat's begging. He still bit the big goat to death and said coldly, "Since you don't have any points, go ahead and die." Chapter 28. The Humiliated Bengal Tiger. After the big bear bit the goat to death, Wang Mang slithered over and swallowed the goat. At the same time, the system's voice sounded. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully devouring the mutated goat. You have obtained 500 evolution points. Wang Mang was not surprised at all to hear that. He knew that consuming members of the beast god space could indeed give him more evolution points. It was much more than the evolution points provided by regular wild goats. At the same time, Wang Mang finally understood why the big bear had suddenly attacked and bitten the goat to death. This goat was also a member of the beast god space, but he was curious about how he could tell them apart from normal animals. Wang Mang asked the bear directly. The big bear said proudly, "After I failed the last mission, I bought microscopy and psychology. With these skills, it's perfectly easy for me to single them out. Our captain told us about this. Moreover, these weak skills are very cheap, but they're very practical. Many people won't buy these useless things. Yet the captain asked us to buy them so that we could differentiate which of these wild animals are from the beast god space and which are wild animals." Wang Mang was speechless. It seemed that the Bengal tiger that he had killed last time was quite smart. It was just that the last time he met Wang Mang, the difference in strength between the two sides was too great, so all his tricks did not matter. At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded. "Old Hay." After hearing the voice, the black bear hurriedly looked over and saw a big tree. A 2-meter-tall gorilla was sitting on the tree that was more than 20 meters tall. "Brother, come down quickly. I've gotten us a really reliable helper for this mission." After seeing the gorilla, the big black bear hurriedly called out. The gorilla came down after he saw it was his teammate. In truth, Wang Mang was no stranger to this gorilla. It was the gorilla that he had killed last time. Clearly, after recognizing Wang Mang, the gorilla still had lingering fears from being killed by Wang Mang last time. Now that he saw this even more terrifying and ferocious python in front of him, he was even more careful and vigilant. After the big bear explained everything, the gorilla also found out Wang Mang's identity. He was even more shocked. When he heard that the python was willing to help them, the gorilla pounded his chest excitedly. "Brother Python, don't worry. After this mission, we'll help you hunt down Wang Ting's team. Lu Shui, that damned poodle. How dare she lie to our brother Giant Python? She's asking to die." Looking at the gorilla's fawning expression, Wang Mang was much happier. "It's nothing much. As long as you help me, I'll help you the next time you meet me on a mission." Of course, the reason why Wang Mang agreed to help them was because he needed their help. Similarly, it was also because the evolution points obtained by the members of the beast god space were very considerable, surpassing that of ordinary wild beasts. Now that they had Wang Mang's help, the bear and the gorilla were no longer hiding. Instead, they were swaggering through the forest. Clearly, Wang Mang's promise to help made them feel extremely safe. Their confidence in completing this mission had instantly exploded. After all, looking at the 10 teams participating in the mission, they really could not think of any team that could threaten Wang Mang. Perhaps there were indeed many teams that could threaten them, but could they threaten Wang Mang? No way in hell. He was a python that was 20 meters long and thicker than the waists of 2 adults. How could any of these teams threaten Wang Mang? Moreover, they had a deep understanding of how terrifying Wang Mang was. Therefore, with Wang Mang's help, they could do whatever they wanted. At least in this mission, they were unstoppable. In that case, why should they hide? Yeah, maybe they were riding on his coattails. But did it matter? The fact remained that they were able to complete the mission. Not convinced. If you're not convinced, you can go and get help. At this moment, the smug big bear and the gorilla had such thoughts. It was also because this mission had been going on for so long, yet this was the first time they felt so proud. It could be said that this was one of the few times they felt that the mission was very easy. However, just as the big bear and the gorilla were leading Wang Mang to kill the other team members in the forest, suddenly, an angry tiger roar came from the distant forest. When they heard the voice, the gorilla and the big bear were shocked. "Oh. That's the captain's voice." After saying that, they hurriedly turned to look at Wang Mang and said, "Brother Python, let's hurry up and take a look." Clearly, the gorilla and the big bear were very worried about their captain's safety. After all, the 2 strongest teams in this mission were Big King and Little King. The other 8 teams were simply the hunting targets of these 2 teams. In that case, even their captain, the Bengal tiger, was in danger. Hearing this, Wang Mang nodded his huge head and followed behind them, rushing toward the source of the sound. 10 minutes later, following the gorilla and the big bear's lead, Wang Mang and the others had arrived at a clearing in the forest. In an empty field not far away, there were 3 very strong and huge African lions. These 3 lions were all muscular. One of the lions was biting a Bengal tiger that was covered in wounds. The other 2 African lions stood not far away, preventing the Bengal tiger from escaping at any time. Moreover, these 3 huge lions were abnormally arrogant. They did not choose to kill the Bengal tiger immediately. On the contrary, they seemed to be deliberately humiliating and toying with the Bengal tiger. Otherwise, they could swarm forward and bite the Bengal tiger to death at any time. In addition, Wang Mang also found this battered Bengal tiger especially familiar. Evidently, it was the Bengal tiger that Wang Mang had killed not long ago. Chapter 29. Did you take hormones to grow this fast? Meng Fei, aren't you very powerful? Come, roar twice for me to hear. Ha ha. He's just a Bengal tiger. I'd be afraid of him if he was a Siberian tiger. That's it. Is that really it? A tiger, he says. Why do I feel like he's a sick cat? The 3 strong African lions were mocking him. Obviously, they did not take this Bengal tiger seriously at all. If it was one-on-one, the Bengal tiger might be able to fight one of them. The problem was that the 3 of them were working together. This Bengal tiger naturally could not cause them any real harm. In fact, none of the other 8 teams participating in this mission were much of a threat to them. That was why they could relax and enjoy the pleasure of killing the Bengal tiger, Meng Fei. They were especially pleased when they saw how the wounded Bengal tiger tried to put up a vain struggle. If they were alone, they might not be able to take down this Bengal tiger. However, they would never admit such a thing, nor would they think that this Bengal tiger could fight them one-on-one. After all, their true forms were that of an African lion. They were the overlords of the grassland, the kings of all beasts. Besides, Siberian tigers were not the strongest tigers on the land. Among the lions, they had to admit that there were other lions stronger than them too. Take the Cape lion, for example. However, they did not have enough points to exchange for the bloodline of the Cape lion species. Cape lions could reach a maximum length of 4 to 5 meters. In the 19th century, all wild Cape lions went extinct. There was also the Barbary lion. It was also stronger than the African lion. Barbary lions were used as fighting beasts during the Roman Empire to satisfy the ancient Romans' thirst for blood and violence. They subsequently went extinct in the 20th century due to mass hunting. Of course, the strongest was still the American lion. The American lion was the largest feline in the history of the world. They mainly lived in North America during the Ice Age. It is said they used to grow up to 4 to 6 meters in length, but they had long since gone extinct. Therefore, if the lions really had a ranking, the number one lion species would be the American lion. The first place was the American lion. The second place was the Cape lion. The third place was the Barbary lion. The fourth place was the African lion. In fifth place was the Cameroon lion. There were even more subspecies of tigers. For instance, there was the famous saber-toothed tiger, and the largest, most intimidating Siberian tiger. All in all, tigers were also very formidable. More importantly, the largest existing tiger was now the Siberian tiger. Thanks to good national protection measures, they had been saved from extinction. Hence, Siberian tigers were very revered in the current day. It was hard to say if they were stronger or weaker than the saber-toothed tigers of old. The saber-toothed tiger's strength, size, and combat strength were all befitting that of the top predators who lived in the Ice Age, the same era as the American lion. However, in terms of size, it was hard to say that the saber-toothed tiger was larger than the Siberian tiger. After all, the saber-toothed tiger had lived for too long. Their appearance could no longer be verified. However, the Siberian tiger was currently the largest feline on Earth. That was also why the lions and tigers never saw eye to eye. Although Wang Mang favored tigers, lions had their strengths too. They were evenly matched in many ways. However, in terms of survivability, tigers were generally stronger than lions. Why? It was because tigers lived alone. As the saying goes, there can never be two tigers on one mountain, unless one is male and the other is female. Then again, lions were born majestic. The lion's mane especially looked mighty. It was really difficult for a tiger to bite through a lion's windpipe. The fur on the lion's neck was extremely thick. That circle of fur on the lion's neck was practically a layer of natural protection. In addition, it was worth mentioning that the largest lions were male lions. However, female tigers were generally larger than males. In terms of size, male tigers were really inferior to female tigers. Back to the current situation. When Wang Mang and the others stumbled across the felines, the gorillas and bears were furious. Captain! Captain! Gah! Only cowards rely on numbers. The big bear and the gorilla roared angrily. Hearing the commotion, the Bengal tiger was subconsciously shocked and hurriedly shouted, "Hurry, run!" He did not even turn around because he knew without looking that his team could not defeat the 3 African lions in front of him. However, he quickly realized that something was wrong. The African lions that had surrounded him earlier had actually retreated. At the same time, the other 2 African lions actually gathered together. When Meng Fei looked up, he realized that 2 members of his team had arrived. More importantly, Meng Fei saw that his team had brought over a colossus. It was a true colossus, in every sense of the word. This giant python was enormous. Its body was as black as ink, as thick as 2 people's waists, and its body length reached an exaggerated 20 meters. To be honest, after seeing this python, Meng Fei really felt his scalp go numb. It was freaking huge. Its size was even more abnormally large than Wang Mang's, the python they had crossed a few days ago. Soon, however, Meng Fei felt a sense of familiarity. After carefully observing the snake, his mouth fell open. The python was more than simply familiar. It was none other than Wang Mang, the very snake they had met a few days ago. However, even if it was a titan python, wasn't its growth rate a little too exaggerated? Less than half a month had passed. It was once 14 meters long, but now it was 20 meters long. Was the snake on hormones? Or did he take some genetic potion like in the movies? Otherwise, how else could Wang Mang's body reach such an enormous size? Evidently, Meng Fei was very puzzled by Wang Mang's growth in such a short period of time. Meng Fei, who felt his scalp go numb, did not expect his teammates to bring this guy along. What were the two members of his team trying to do? Did they want to die again? However, Meng Fei was indeed a genius with high EQ and intelligence. He quickly analyzed the situation. Right now, Wang Mang was very likely a friend, not an enemy. Since the python did not attack his two teammates and even stood together with them, he surmised that there was only one possibility. This python must have reached some unknown agreement with his two team members. Thinking of this, Meng Fei retreated without hesitation. When the Bengal tiger arrived beside Wang Mang and his teammates, he began to lick the bloody wounds on his body while panting. In Wang Mang's opinion, he was an utter mess right now. Chapter 30. 5 Adult Male Lions. Captain, are you all right? Captain, your injuries are really severe. Looking at their captain's injuries, the gorilla and bear hurriedly asked him about them worriedly. The Bengal tiger, Meng Fei, shook his head. It's fine. Be careful. They're from the Little King's team. Wang Mang asked with interest, oh. If the Little King's team is already so impressive, what will the Big King's team be capable of? After hearing Wang Mang speak, the 3 African lions in the distance looked at the giant python in front of them in shock. At the same time, they were also trying to figure out Wang Mang's identity. Could he be someone from the Beast God space? However, following the warning from Beast God space in their minds, they knew that Wang Mang was not from the Beast God space at all. Still, if Wang Mang was not from the Beast God space, then what the hell was this giant python? Could he be a snake demon? The 3 African lions could not help but gasp at the thought. To be honest, they had never seen a real spirit or demon before. This was their first time. After all, what else could Wang Mang be if not a snake demon? How else would he be able to speak like a human? It was precisely because of this that they started to worry. They did not know what abilities the snake demon had. After all, demons and spirits had always had a presence in Chinese folklore. However, the Beast God space now told them that these monsters really existed. Since they had encountered an anomaly like Wang Mang, they naturally felt a little panicked. Moreover, even if Wang Mang was not a snake-type demon, his huge body alone was enough to make them panic. He was 20 meters long and 4 to 5 meters tall when he reared his huge head. How could they not be afraid? However, since they knew that Wang Mang could communicate, they decided to talk things over first. One of the lions asked carefully, "Brother Snake, this is our personal business. It's not appropriate for you to interfere, right?" Wang Mang was taken aback for a second, but he did not take them seriously at all. He said indifferently, "I can interfere if I want. What can you do about it?" The 3 African lions were speechless, but they were also angered. He was way too arrogant. From Wang Mang's tone, it was obvious that he did not take them seriously at all. For a moment, the 3 lions were furious, but they did not dare to attack rashly. Firstly, none of them knew how strong Wang Mang was. Secondly, Wang Mang's size was too intimidating to them. That was why they did not dare to act rashly. At the same time, Meng Fei could not help but laugh. With Wang Mang's help, they would gain a lot from this mission. Meng Fei was undeniably curious to know what kind of agreement Wang Mang had reached with his teammates. However, he also knew that now was not the time to ask. Thinking of this, Meng Fei suddenly said to Wang Mang, "Brother Python, attack. Once the rest of their team gets here, it won't be easy to deal with them." Hearing this, Wang Mang also prepared to make a move. However, at this critical moment, a muffled lion roar sounded from afar. This made Wang Mang, Meng Fei, and the others turn around. From the distant forest, 2 even larger lions were walking over at a moderate pace. They were enormous. They were that much larger than the Bengal tiger, Meng Fei, and the 3 African lions from before. Seeing this scene, even Wang Mang could not help but be shocked. These two lions did not look much different from African lions. However, their sizes were worlds apart. It was like the difference between a kitten and an adult cat. Moreover, the long mane on the necks of these two mighty lions looked even brighter and more domineering. Their bodies were nearly 6 meters long. Their limbs were strong and powerful. They gave off an immense pressure. Even Wang Mang could not help but feel astonished. Were they giant lions? It was simply impossible for ordinary African lions to grow to such a size. Then, there was only one other possibility. It was very likely that these two huge lions were not African lions, but a type of lion that he did not know. Just as Wang Mang came to that conclusion, Meng Fei, the Bengal tiger beside him, explained, "Brother Python, be careful. They are an adult Cape lion and an American lion. The 6-meter one is the American lion. It's also the leader of the Little King's team in this mission. The other one is a Cape lion. You could say he's the vice-captain of the team." Hearing this, Wang Mang understood. No wonder these two lions were so much larger than the other members. Since these two huge lions were the captain and vice-captain respectively, it made sense that not only were they big in size, but their combat strength was also definitely much stronger. Wang Mang gradually became serious. Although Wang Mang did not think that these guys were his opponents, he still needed to be cautious. At the same time, the two lions gathered beside the other 3 lions. In an instant, the 5 lions had already gathered together. The 5 lions sized up the members on Meng Fei's side with ferocious gazes. Of course, Wang Mang was obviously the focus of their attention. Even the Cape lion and the American lion looked at Wang Mang with fear. To them, the python in front of them was really too big. Moreover, it was not an ordinary python. Obviously, these two captains had already recognized the identity of the python. This was not an ordinary python, but an extinct snake, the Titan python. It was precisely because of this that the two giant lions found it hard to believe. Most importantly, this giant python was not a member of the beast god space. According to their team members, it was very likely to be a legendary snake demon. Just this point alone made them attach great importance to Wang Mang. When the Bengal tiger saw the lineup of both sides, his heart sank. To be honest, he only knew that there was a lion in the Little King's team. He did not expect the entire team to consist of lions. In that case, just how strong would the Big King's team be? Meng Fei's heart became even gloomier at the thought. To be honest, even with Wang Mang's help, he still felt uneasy. "Brother Python, are you feeling any pressure?" At this moment, the big bear was also feeling very stressed out. "That's right. Brother Python, can you take them on?" Even the gorilla was also worried. Wang Mang said nonchalantly, "It's fine. If I say there's no problem, then there's no problem." Wang Mang had the confidence to say this because he had his poison fang, now the peerless poison fang at that. Once he sank his fangs into their flesh, no matter how powerful the prey was, they would fall in minutes. This was also Wang Mang's trump card, and the reason why he did not take these lions seriously. After hearing Wang Mang's words, the enemy leader, the American lion, sneered and said, "All right. I want to see how powerful you are." Clearly, the way Wang Mang underestimated them had completely angered the 5 lions. After all, they were 5 male lions. Even if they were wary of Wang Mang, they had their own pride to defend. Now, Wang Mang was blatantly looking down on them. How could they not be furious? In an instant, the 5 lions approached Wang Mang in unison. There was no denying it. The sight of these 5 male lions bearing down on them at once was truly intimidating. Chapter 31. The Big King's Team. A bunch of tigresses. With their lineup, they could probably sweep through all the large predators in the wild. Wang Mang had watched many documentaries about lions in the past. He knew that they were very powerful. They were almost invincible on the grasslands, so these 5 lions would be basically invincible if they were on the plains. No wonder the Bengal Tigers team had become one of the other 8 teams that were being hunted for sport. However, Wang Mang was really not frightened by these 5 lions. He moved his body and pounced forward. To Wang Mang's surprise, these 5 lions were even more ferocious and rushed toward him. "You asked for it." Wang Mang laughed coldly and shot out toward one of the African lions. The other 4 lions immediately jumped away and avoided Wang Mang's head, pouncing at his body. At the same time, the African lion that Wang Mang caught in his jaws could not help but scream. Wang Mang had bitten this African lion's spine and even snapped it in two with his terrifying bite force. That took this lion out of the count. After that, Wang Mang tossed the African lion a few meters away. At the same time, Wang Mang was being mauled by the other 4 lions. He immediately felt a sharp pain coming from his body. The other 4 lions tore at his body fiercely, instantly ripping his flesh until he was covered in wounds. Wang Mang also realized that these 4 lions had very formidable jaws indeed. In just a moment, he was seriously injured. If not for Wang Mang's skills, even with his size, he might not have been able to defeat these 5 lions. With that in mind, he used his skills without hesitation. Defense. Enhancement. Super self-healing. As soon as he used those 2 skills, Wang Mang turned around and lashed out at the American lion, their leader. He attacked this lion for one simple reason: the American lion had caused him the most damage. If Wang Mang did not have any skills, there was a high chance that he would be riddled with wounds even if he did manage to kill the American lion in the end. To Wang Mang's dismay, however, the American lion's reaction speed was too fast. Almost as soon as Wang Mang pounced on him, he jumped away and dodged Wang Mang's bloody fangs. The Cape lion also reacted quickly and was the second lion to dodge. Therefore, Wang Mang had no choice but to pounce on the remaining 2 African lions that had slower reactions. Roar. Accompanied by a scream, one of the African lions fell prey to Wang Mang's jaws. The other African lion was also entangled by Wang Mang when he tried to run for it. Wang Mang did the same thing again and bit the African lion in half. There was a scream accompanied by the sound of bones breaking. Then, Wang Mang bit off the spine of the other African lion that he had coiled around. This one also let out a miserable cry. In almost an instant, Wang Mang had already dealt with the 3 African lions. These 3 African lions were rendered unable to fight. They could only lie on the ground and roar miserably, unable to get up. Although they were not dead, their spines had been snapped, and they could not fight at all. If this was the wild African grassland, these lions could only wait for death. Of course, this did not mean that they were too weak. It was just that Wang Mang was too strong. Roar. Damn it. That B** bit my spine in half. Captain, Vice Captain, be careful. That python is powerful. The 3 African lions, who had basically lost their ability to fight, could not help but cry out in pain. Upon hearing this, the American lion and Cape lion, who were pulling away from Wang Mang not far away, glared at him viciously. Clearly, Wang Mang's battle prowess had exceeded their imaginations. In just a few minutes, they had already lost 3 members. When the American lion and the Cape lion saw the bloody wounds on Wang Mang's body healing, they were even more shocked and furious. This guy is too difficult to deal with. He probably has an extremely fast self-healing ability. If we can't kill him in one strike, it will be impossible for us to kill him, said their captain, the American lion, to the Cape lion beside him in a low voice. Captain, what should we do now? Why don't we ask the people from Big King's team for help? The American lion and the Cape lion exchanged a look and then raised their heads, letting out low and deep roars. Their roars were powerful and penetrating. There was anger in their voice that spread very far. In fact, the lion's roars startled many small and medium-sized animals in the forest. They fled in panic. Seeing this scene, the Bengal tiger Wang Teng could not help but exclaim, "Brother Python, be careful. They're trying to attract the members of the Big King's team." Wang Mang said nonchalantly, "Don't worry. Even if all of them are here, I'll just deal with all of them together." Hearing Wang Mang's words, the Bengal tiger Meng Fei could not help but smile bitterly. Indeed, Wang Mang's strength was too terrifying. It had only been a few minutes, and the little king's team was already in pieces. At the same time, thanks to the roars of the Cape lion and the American lion, the members of the Big King's team, who had been searching for and hunting the other 8 teams, immediately stood at attention. The Big King's team was stronger than the team of African lions, of course. They were extremely powerful. This was because the team consisted of 5 Siberian tigers, and all of them were female. Boss, it sounds Like those two stupid lions, said a 4-meter-long Siberian tiger suddenly. Her voice was very pleasant and ethereal, giving off a refreshing and pure feeling. That's right. Big sister, those two voices sound like the Cape lion and the American lion. If Wang Mang were here, he would definitely recognize this voice as that of a little girl. However, the owner of this little girl's voice was an even larger tiger, more than 5 meters long. Just then, the giant Siberian tiger that was leading the group looked toward the source of the sound. The Chinese character for king was stamped on the middle of its enormous forehead. Its amber eyes flickered with coldness. Let's go and take a look first. I'm curious to see what made those annoying lions roar out in rage like that. Its voice was very cold, as if telling everyone to stay far away from it, just like the queen of an icy mountain. The so-called Big King's team was a group of tigresses. Their true forms were all tigers, and they were the largest of all tigers, Siberian tigers. Chapter 32. 5 Siberian tigers, full sprint ahead. It was precisely such a group of tigresses that could suppress the group of lions with ease. Besides, every one of these tigresses was powerful in her own right. That was why they were steadily ahead of the lions. In fact, this group of tigresses had even fought with lions before. However, the mission this time was the 2 Kings Battle Royale team mission. The big and little kings could not eliminate each other. Otherwise, this group of tigresses might have even eliminated the team of lions. Of course, that did not mean these tigresses could crush all lions. It just so happened that this group of tigresses was indeed stronger than that group of lions. That was why the tigresses were very curious right now. Other than their Big King's team, what other animal could make that group of lions so angry? Soon, under their boss lead, the Siberian tigresses ran through the forest toward the source of the lions' voices. At the same time, many people fishing in the reservoir could vaguely hear the lions' deep roars. Many people looked at the forest in the distance and then at each other. They erupted into discussion. Big Fei, did you hear that just now? It sounded like it came from the depths of the forest, a middle-aged man asked the young man beside him. The young man nodded and said, I heard it just now, uncle. Someone beside him also said, I heard it too. It's probably a wild beast. It's just that it sounds very strong. I don't know if I heard wrongly, but I keep feeling that that sound is a little like the roar of a lion. It does sound like it. To me, it sounds just like the roars of the lions from the documentaries. I'm curious too. There are no lions here, other than in the zoo. It's possible if it's a tiger, but lions shouldn't be here. Hearing this young man's words, the 2 older men who were fishing were also stunned. After thinking about it seriously, they realized that he was right. They also felt that this deep and powerful roar was too similar to the roars of lions from the animal documentaries on TV. In fact, they were not the only ones who were puzzled. Many people fishing in the reservoir were also attracted by the deep and powerful lion roar. That sound. It seems to be coming from the depths of the forest. That's definitely the voice of a lion. How is that possible? Other than in the zoo, there shouldn't be any lions in the country. That does sound like a lion. Shall we go and take a look? Let's go. Let's go and take a look, shall we? Come on. Let's go take a look together. Many of the people who came to the reservoir to fish were interested in the sound. They gathered in groups of 3 to 5 and rushed toward the source of the voice. Moreover, many of those who were here to just join in the fun temporarily gave up fishing out of curiosity and chased after the rest. It was precisely because someone took the lead that the rest of the fishermen in the reservoir put down their fishing rods and rushed off. At the same time, Wang Mang naturally did not know that many people were already rushing over. Moreover, the Big King's team of tigresses was also making their way here. Right now, Wang Mang wanted to seize the opportunity to capture the American lion and the Cape lion. The problem was that as long as these 2 lions did not fight him, there was nothing he could do. They were just too fast. Wang Mang's heart sank. Meng Fei, kill their teammates. Since he could not kill these 2 guys, Wang Mang naturally decided to kill off their teammates first. Hearing this, the Bengal tiger Meng Fei's eyes instantly lit up. At the same time, the big bear and the gorilla rushed toward the 3 African lions excitedly. Seeing this scene, the American lion and the Cape lion not far away were incomparably furious, but they were helpless. Wang Mang, who was eyeing them greedily, would not give them a chance to save their teammates. Therefore, they could only watch as Meng Fei's team killed their teammates. Damn it. Meng Fei, just you wait. Pray that you don't encounter our Team Leonis in future missions, the American lion said icily, looking at Meng Fei and the other team members with deep cold eyes. If they were defeated by Meng Fei's strength without the help of external factors, then they might be convinced. The problem was, how could a weak team like Meng Fei's be worthy of fighting them? They were not qualified to fight the lions at all. Instead, Meng Fei's team made use of Wang Mang's strength and turned from prey to hunter, making the lions extremely angry. Therefore, if the American lion had the chance to meet Meng Fei's team members again, he would naturally not let them off easily. However, Meng Fei and the others did not care about the American lion's threat at all. They were not afraid in the slightest. If threats were useful, then what was the point of carrying out the mission? He could just threaten them to give up. Moreover, once there was a chance to become stronger, they had to seize the opportunity. If they did not, the gap between them and the other members of the Beast God space would only widen. If they fell behind now, they would never be able to catch up later. Sometimes, the small difference between them would slowly be magnified in the later stages. Therefore, forget the American lion's threats, even they could not hesitate to attack even if they were guaranteed to encounter the American lion again in the next mission. In the end, it was the law of the jungle. Of course, it would not be easy for them to be frightened by a casual threat. As such, Meng Fei sneered and said, "I'm so scared. Do you want me to serve my head to you on a silver platter?" Hearing Meng Fei's words, the big bear and the gorilla laughed even more arrogantly. This made the American lion and Cape lion tremble in anger. The three people in Meng Fei's team were getting way too full of themselves. This was the reason why the American lion and the Cape lion were so exasperated. However, right at this moment, they heard footsteps and the sound of wind from afar. This caused Wang Mang, Meng Fei, and the others to look over. In the forest not far away, they saw 5 huge tigers flying at them at full speed. These 5 Siberian tigers were like the kings of the forest. One after another, they crossed the forest and sped along with the wind. Wang Mang was also shocked to see them. These 5 tigers were insanely big. Even the smallest one was larger than the previous 3 African lions. Among them, 2 of the tigers were nearly 6 meters tall, and the tiger in the lead was more than 6 meters tall. To be honest, such a huge team was even more exaggerated and terrifying than the lineup of the lions from before. Chapter 33. Are there 40-meter-long pythons in the Amazon? At the same time, the group of Siberian tigers who rushed over also looked at the American lion and Cape lion in shock. At the same time, they also saw Meng Fei's team. When they saw Wang Mang, the Siberian tigers could not help but exclaim, "Oh my God! What an enormous snake! I'm terrified of snakes. Wow! Boss, look! That python is enormous. This python isn't a member of this mission. Why is it here?" "That's right. Big sister, you said that you've seen a wild python before. Is it as big as this one? This python is huge. It's probably 20 meters long. When it stands up, its head is 3 to 4 meters tall. It's so scary." This group of Siberian tigers cried out in alarm and started talking all at once. At the same time, they looked at Wang Mang curiously. Clearly, they did not know where this python came from. Moreover, if they did not know why the American lion and Cape lion were so angry before, they had some guesses now. Only such a huge python could infuriate the extremely arrogant Team Leonis. The leader of the Siberian tigers looked at the giant python in shock. The python was too big. It had actually reached 20 meters. Although Wang Mang was not the biggest python she had ever seen, he could be ranked second. This was because she had once encountered a python that was even more terrifying than Wang Mang when she was carrying out a mission in the Amazon. At that time, the python's size had already reached more than 40 meters. Moreover, it was an incomparably ferocious wild python. None of the teams carrying out the mission dared to provoke such a colossus. She could still remember what she had seen at that time. In the dense forest, there was a huge untouched waterhole lake. Beside this waterhole lake was the python that she had seen back then. It was nearly 40 meters long. This behemoth was pitch black and coiled around a huge tree. The huge snake's head and body were quietly held upright in the air, and it looked down at her with its bowl-sized eyes. At that time, she was only 1,000 meters away. She took a look from afar and would never forget that terrifying scene. She clearly remembered how terrifying that huge thing was. 2 small horns had already grown out of its huge head. Now that she thought about it, she shuddered. She was too insignificant back then. Although the python in front of her was not as terrifying as the python she had seen before, its 20-meter-long body still gave her a strong sense of fear. She knew how difficult it was for wild pythons to reach 20 meters. Other than the people in the beast god space, Wang Mang was the second wild python she had seen. Moreover, it was a 20-meter-long python. When she was on a mission, she had seen pythons many times, but they were not this big. Even the largest of them was only 12 meters long. She had not even seen many pythons that were more than 12 meters tall, let alone this 20-meter-long python in front of her. Moreover, Wang Mang was way too thick. It was much thicker than the 12-meter-long python she had seen before. If the 12-meter-long python she had seen before was at most as thick as a human waist, Wang Mang's body was as thick as 2 people's waists put together. To put it bluntly, Wang Mang's size was almost the same as the giant python in the movies. Therefore, while Wang Mang was shocked, the head tigress was also shocked by Wang Mang. At this moment, the American lion, who was not far away, hurriedly said, "Queen Tigress, let's kill this guy together. He's too strong. Even your big king's team can't defeat him. Only if we join forces will we have a chance to defeat this python. Moreover, the python is helping Meng Fei's team, so it will have to fight us sooner or later. Even if you want to ignore it, you have no choice. As long as you want to complete the mission, you have to kill this guy." Upon hearing the American lion's words, the head tigress, who had returned to her senses, glared at the American lion coldly. Then, her gaze landed on Wang Mang. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang also sized up this group of tigresses for a while, but he did not feel much pressure. However, Wang Mang was certain that these 5 huge tigers were all Siberian tigresses. Wang Mang was certain of that much. When the 5 Siberian tigers spoke earlier, Wang Mang could tell that they were all girls. Their voices were quite sweet and pleasant to the ears. In real life, they should be quite good-looking, based only on their voices, of course. Even so, Wang Mang would not let these 5 Siberian tigers off so easily. The Siberian tigers, the American lion, and the African lions were all considerably heavy. Even the smallest African lion weighed about 700 pounds. As for the behemoths here, their weight might have reached at least 1,500 pounds, at least double that of the smallest lion. In other words, Wang Mang only needed to kill and devour all the Siberian tigers and lions present, and he could obtain at least 10,000 evolution points. That was the lowest estimate. Thinking of this, the killing intent in Wang Mang's heart intensified. Looking at the Siberian tigers and lions in front of him, his gaze became even colder. "I'll help you get rid of them. If I do, I won't have to do the rest of your mission, right?" Wang Mang turned to look at Meng Fei and the others. Meng Fei, the big bear, and the gorilla all nodded and said, "Brother Python, as long as they're gone, the other teams are not much of a threat to us." "That's right. Brother Python, as long as we deal with the big and small kings, the other teams will be easy for us. They won't pose much of a threat." Wang Mang nodded and then set his sights on the Siberian tigers. In the next moment, Wang Mang suddenly moved. His speed was as fast as lightning as he charged toward the group of Siberian tigers. The tigresses were shocked. They did not expect Wang Mang to attack just like that. This python was indeed very scary, but they were not easy to bully. They were a group of Siberian tigresses. Moreover, they had a total of 5 members. In addition, there were also the American lion and the Cape lion beside them. What about the 2 lions? Chapter 34. Joint attack of 5 Siberian tigers. Could it be that the python in front of them overestimated itself and thought that it could defeat so many of their members? Thinking of this, the Siberian tigers present were also enraged. Their true forms were Siberian tigers. Even if they had experienced missions in the past, they had never been afraid of anyone. However, Wang Mang attacked them without a second thought. He completely disrespected them. All of a sudden, the 5 tigresses were enraged. Similarly, the American lion and the Cape lion, who had long been aggrieved, pounced at Wang Mang without hesitation. Wang Mang had jumped right into a group attack. Not only that, it was only when Wang Mang pounced on the tigresses that he realized the reaction speed of this group of tigresses was really much faster than the 3 African lions from before. Wang Mang's pounce did not succeed at all. He did not even bite a single Siberian tiger. Not only that, but Wang Mang also felt intense pain all over his body. When he turned around, he realized that the 5 Siberian tigers were biting him on all parts of his body. Not only that, the American lion and Cape lions joined in as well. At this moment, these 5 Siberian tigers and 2 lions all seized the opportunity to bite him. Now, there were 7 bloody wounds on his body. As Wang Mang turned around, the Siberian tigers and the 2 lions quickly jumped away. The 5 Siberian tigers and lions had vaguely surrounded him. Wang Mang knew that the next time he attacked, these Siberian tigers and the 2 lions would attack him again. It was precisely because of this that Wang Mang did not act rashly. He was waiting for an opportunity to attack again. He arched his 4 to 5 meter tall head and stared at 7 felines surrounding him with his cold eyes. The 3 members of Meng Fei's team were secretly sweating for Wang Mang. Such a lineup was simply broken. They were even a little worried about whether Wang Mang could win. If Meng Fei encountered such a lineup, he would run away without hesitation. This was because when an ordinary team encountered such a terrifying lineup, it was basically not something an ordinary team could contend with. At the same time, Wang Mang also had a headache. The reaction speed of the 5 Siberian tigers and lions in front of him was too fast. In fact, Wang Mang did not even know if he could catch one of them the next time he attacked. However, if he could not catch them, it would be difficult for him to kill these 5 Siberian tigers and 2 lions. However, Wang Mang quickly thought of a way to deal with it. Without hesitation, he pounced toward the largest Siberian tiger. Seeing this scene, the head Siberian tiger secretly sneered. Then, she easily jumped away and dodged Wang Mang's cobra-like pounce. At the same time, the other Siberian tigers and the 2 lions seized the opportunity and rushed toward Wang Mang again, preparing to take revenge for her. However, Wang Mang, who had already used his skill, pounced on the largest Siberian tiger without hesitation. Clearly, Wang Mang had ulterior motives. After missing his prey, Wang Mang had long been ready to unleash his defense enhancement skill. At the same time, his sharp tail was like a ruthless whip that whistled over with a strong wind. The Siberian tigers and the 2 lions, who were about to launch another sneak attack, were taken aback. They did not expect that Wang Mang's real target this time was not their boss, but them. Fortunately, this group of Siberian tigers reacted very quickly. In almost an instant, they jumped away and dodged Wang Mang's tail. At the same time, the American lion quickly jumped away. However, it was already too late when the Cape lion wanted to dodge. This was because the Cape lion was the closest to Wang Mang's tail. Although it was the hardest for Wang Mang to pounce on him, he was also the closest to Wang Mang's tail. The huge Cape lion directly let out a miserable cry and was sent flying by Wang Mang's tail. Even Wang Mang did not know how strong he really was. Either way, he could easily bite through and pick up prey that weighed almost 2 tons. Therefore, Wang Mang's tail sent the Cape lion flying. The Cape lion smashed into a large tree in the distance before falling to the ground, his body twitching. They could tell at a glance that the Cape lion's 2 hind limbs had already been snapped by Wang Mang's tail. The Cape lion could only twitch and struggle on the ground, letting out low and pained roars. The American lion's expression changed drastically as he exclaimed, "Second brother." With that, he quickly retreated. Looking at the twitching Cape lion on the ground, his heart could not help but feel heavy. He did not expect Wang Mang's attack to be so fierce. With a swipe of his tail, his team's vice-captain was knocked out of the battle, and 2 of his hind legs were broken. This made the American lion even more ferocious, his expression contorting. He knew that he was not far from failing this mission. At this moment, the Cape lion, who had fallen to the ground and could not get up, said in a pained tone, "Captain, be careful. Don't worry about me." Hearing this, the American lion nodded with a grimace. He could only give up on his vice-captain after the latter lost his combat ability. Now that the Cape lion could no longer fight, he had become a burden. Then, the American lion slowly raised its head and surrounded Wang Mang again with a gloomy heart. By now, the 5 Siberian tigers and the American lion all knew how cunning and tricky Wang Mang was. Evidently, it would not be that easy for them to deal with Wang Mang. They had given Wang Mang an opening. Now, the longer they dragged the battle out, the more disadvantageous it would be for them. Wang Mang could attack with his head and his tail. Earlier, Wang Mang's sharp tail had even broken the Cape Lion's legs. They could already imagine the consequences if the previous attack had landed on them. Even Siberian tigers like them would not have a good time after that. All they could now was swarm forward and fight Wang Mang to the death, or Wang Mang would slowly find the opportunity to defeat them one by one. Let's attack together. If we continue fighting like this, we won't be able to do anything to him. At this moment, the head tigress spoke slowly. Chapter 35. Surrounded, falling into a disadvantage. Obviously, she already knew what would happen if they dragged this out any longer. That was why she used the most brutal method to solve the problem. It was also the best and most direct method. Hearing their leader's words, the Siberian tigers and American lion could not help but nod. It was indeed the most effective method. In reality, Wang Mang was also a bit surprised. If he were to take them down one by one, Wang Mang would be able to deal with them easily. However, if these Siberian tigers were to rush forward like a swarm of bees, Wang Mang believed that even if he could kill them, he would still be severely injured. However, in the current situation, he had no choice but to take his shot. Wang Mang naturally would not back down. Although he was worried that these guys would rush up to fight him to the death and cause him serious injuries, he believed that there were no creatures on land that could easily kill him. Therefore, Wang Mang could not give in. Looking at the 5 Siberian tigers and the American lion that were ready to fight to the death, Wang Mang was also ready to fight. Roar! Kill him! Roar! Sisters, fight it to the death! Roar! Kill this stupid python! Roar! Kill him! Go to hell! You killed so many of my teammates. You're in my way. For a moment, the roars of the tigers resounded throughout the forest like thunder. Then, Wang Mang saw the 5 Siberian tigers and the American lion pounce on him without any intention of retreating. Wang Mang made up his mind. He simply gave up on all other thoughts and used the most primitive method of fighting with his life on the line. Wang Mang immediately locked onto his target, the fastest Siberian tigress. Wang Mang, who had long been ready to attack, pounced forward like a cobra. To Wang Mang's surprise, the Siberian tigress leader actually did not dodge this time. Instead, she rushed toward him fearlessly. Therefore, although Wang Mang's jaws chomped down on the largest Siberian tigress' neck, he was also pushed to the ground by the tigress' huge physique and explosive impact. In the next moment, Wang Mang experienced her viciousness. He quickly took the opportunity to inject the venom from his fangs into her body. However, the head tigress was still mauling Wang Mang with everything she had, causing him so much pain that he almost cried out. If not for the fact that he had already used defense enhancement and super self-healing, he may have been torn into 2 by this Siberian tiger by now. Even though Wang Mang had strengthened his defense, he still felt incomparable pain. This Siberian tiger's bite force was too terrifying. It really broke through his defenses. She tore at Wang Mang's body, causing it to be drenched in blood. Die. Wang Mang made up his mind and directly injected the venom from his poison fang into her body. However, the head tigress continued to bite Wang Mang crazily. She even bit Wang Mang's neck and shook her head maniacally. She was clearly trying to take him down at the cost of her own injuries. She had thrown all caution to the wind. In an instant, Wang Mang was thrown around by the Siberian tiger. Of course, Wang Mang did not let go of the huge Siberian tiger either. Not only that, Wang Mang's strength was not to be underestimated. He ruthlessly tore off a piece of flesh from the tigress' neck. From this, one could see how terrifying Wang Mang's bite force was, as well as his own strength. In addition, in order to cause more damage to the head Siberian tigress, Wang Mang was still ripping at her body mercilessly. He was trying to tear the flesh and blood of this Siberian tiger from her body. However, Wang Mang had clearly underestimated the head tigress. She actually had a defensive skill as well. The flesh and skin that were originally as fragile as tofu suddenly made Wang Mang's teeth hurt. Clearly, the head tigress had also used some special abilities to increase her defense. However, since the head tigress was not worrying about her teeth, Wang Mang naturally did not care either. The Siberian tigress had defensive skills. So what? So did he. And his was even stronger. For a moment, the two of them began to bite and tear each other's flesh like wild beasts. Moreover, from Wang Mang's point of view, the head tigress would not be able to last much longer. This was because he had already injected a large amount of venom into her system. In fact, if it was a one-on-one fight, Wang Mang could kill the head tigress in no time. However, the problem was that the other Siberian tigers and American lion had already pounced on him. He had no way to use Deathbind. From afar, it looked like 5 Siberian tigers and an American lion were madly mauling the huge python. Yes, the other tigresses and the American lion were already tearing at Wang Mang's body from all directions, trying to tear him into pieces. It was a pity that Wang Mang's defense was as tough as rock. Otherwise, he would have been torn into pieces by the 6 remaining enemies. Thinking of this, Wang Mang finally understood that these guys in the beast god space were indeed much stronger than wild animals. They had advantages that wild animals did not have. They could also obtain all kinds of skills and even bloodlines. The head tigress that was fighting Wang Mang was definitely several times stronger than any ordinary Siberian tigress. Wang Mang was certain of this. Similarly, the 3 members of Meng Fei's team were dumbfounded when they saw this scene. Only now did they realize how terrifying Wang Mang's combat strength was. At the same time, they admired the decisiveness of the Siberian tiger team. Back then, when Meng Fei encountered Wang Mang, the python had dragged them down one by one. In the end, their team was easily killed. But now, the head tigress, with such strength and such a powerful team, was going all out against Wang Mang. From this, he could see how much importance the Siberian tiger team placed on Wang Mang. Similarly, Meng Fei and the others were also worried that Wang Mang really could not win. Judging by the current situation, Wang Mang was indeed at a disadvantage. There was no denying it. As long as the head tigress did not fall, Wang Mang would not be able to free up his energy to deal with the other Siberian tigers and the American lion. Furthermore, the intense pain coming from all over his body almost made Wang Mang cry out in pain. Fortunately, Wang Mang did not do such a shameful thing. Moreover, Wang Mang himself had a ruthless streak. The fiercer the enemy was, the fiercer Wang Mang became. In addition, Wang Mang had his super self-healing skill. For now, Wang Mang looked like he was at a disadvantage. In fact, he looked positively besieged, fighting for his life. However, Wang Mang believed that as long as he waited for the poison to take effect, the head tigress days were numbered. Once she collapsed, he would be able to easily reverse the situation. Chapter 36. Watch out, everyone. This python is poisonous. Still, the reality was Wang Mang ended up in a sorry state in the ensuing battle. Wang Mang even waited for about half an hour. Even so, the Siberian tiger's poison had yet to take effect. This made Wang Mang a little confused. What the hell was going on? Could it be that he had not injected enough venom? To be honest, Wang Mang was also a little perplexed. Logically speaking, this should not be the case. He had injected a lot of venom. Even an elephant would definitely not last for more than half an hour, he thought. So what was going on with the head tigress in front of him? Panicking, Wang Mang hurriedly asked in his mind, "System, what's going on? Why isn't my poison fang working?" The system's voice sounded in his mind. "Host, don't worry. This mutated Siberian tiger has advanced poison resistance. But the host's venom is the strongest snake venom on Earth. She can only last for an hour at most. If she doesn't recover in time within an hour, she will naturally be poisoned to death." After hearing the system's explanation, Wang Mang came to a realization. He did not expect the head tigress to have high-level poison resistance. If his peerless poison fang had not been upgraded, they would probably have been completely useless against the Siberian tiger in front of him. Wang Mang had already learned some detailed information about advanced poison resistance from the system. For example, the honey badger had top-notch resistance to poison. Poison resistance meant a certain degree of immunity to poison. Thinking of this, Wang Mang could not help but feel bitter. The head tigress really held him back. He didn't expect her to have high-level poison resistance. Even with his top-notch poison, she could resist its effects for an hour. Wang Mang's poison fang had never failed before. Especially after the upgrade, its toxicity was 200 times that of the king cobra. Wang Mang did not even know who else could resist the poison from his fangs. Yet it seemed he had encountered one such person today. Moreover, it was this behemoth, the Siberian tiger. Fortunately, even the head tigress could only last for an hour at most. If he had to hold on for even longer than that, Wang Mang might really cry. The appearance of the head tigress had destroyed Wang Mang's confidence. However, it also made Wang Mang realize an important principle: there was always someone better out there. At the same time, Wang Mang did not expect his poison to be even more terrifying than he had imagined. After half an hour, Wang Mang discovered that the Siberian tiger's attacks were getting weaker and weaker. Her previous attacks were desperate, and the damage they caused to Wang Mang was simply unbearable. Now, though, the head tigress' attacks on him had already begun to weaken. She was also becoming noticeably weaker as time passed. The head tigress immediately realized that something was wrong with her body. This was clearly a sign of being poisoned. Otherwise, why would she feel incomparable pain as her body became weaker and weaker? Suddenly, the head tigress felt dizzy. She was too familiar with this feeling. This was a sign of poisoning. She had encountered such a situation when she was carrying out missions in the past. In the past, she thought she would be invincible in a mission, but she was bitten by a poisonous snake and was eliminated. However, it was precisely because of such an encounter that she paid a huge price to buy a high-level poison resistance ability. After that, she did not take these poisonous snakes seriously at all. Her high-level poison resistance was broken, after all. It practically gave her complete immunity to lower-level snake venoms. Now, though, the head tigress was horrified to discover that she had been poisoned once again. She had forgotten how long it had been since this last happened. Could it be that this python was poisonous? Did it possess an even higher level poison? The thought made the head tigress' scalp go numb. Only now did she truly understand how terrifying and overpowered Wang Mang was. Such a giant python was already abnormal enough. To make things worse, this giant python was also F*King poisonous. And its poison was top-notch. How could they fight such an opponent? It was so much more monstrous than the giant python in the movies. At the thought of this, the head tigress said in agony, "Everyone, be careful. This giant python is poisonous." Her voice sounded extremely pained and weak, as if she could collapse at any moment. She sensed that she could not hold on for much longer. However, the problem was that the python was still alive and kicking, and she was about to fall. Perhaps, they were on the verge of failing this mission. After all, the head tigress knew very well that she was the only one with high-level poison resistance. The other team members had not bought this skill. Most of the Siberian tiger sisters in her team used their points to increase their bite force, defense, or combat strength. Therefore, no one else here could withstand Wang Mang's highly poisonous fangs. After all, if even she could not withstand it, how could the other members? As expected, after hearing the head tigress' words, her teammates and the American lion turned pale with fright. They did not expect this python to have poison on top of its abnormal defense and terrifying self-healing ability. It had no F*King weaknesses. How were they supposed to fight it? Just thinking about it made the Siberian tigress and the American lion feel a sense of despair. They really could not understand why a simple mission to earn points would put them in the path of a freak like Wang Mang. He was powerful. Too powerful. He had no weaknesses. His defense was extremely strong. He had an extremely fast self-healing ability. He even had poison. His combat strength was top-notch. He was so powerful that they felt despair. At the same time, footsteps suddenly sounded from afar. No one noticed this. Only Meng Fei, who was not far away, suddenly said, "Don't say anything. Someone is coming." The gorilla and the big bear were stunned. Then, they turned to look at the distant forest. They could vaguely hear footsteps and voices. Seeing this, Meng Fei and the others immediately stopped talking. That was because the members of the beast god space could not speak in front of humans. As for Wang Mang, who was fighting in the distance, as well as the group of Siberian tigers and the American lion. They did not hear Meng Fei's words, so they naturally did not notice the commotion in the distance. This was because both sides were already fighting until they saw red. Chapter 37. A shocking scene. Is it this way? I think so. The commotion I heard came from this direction. I heard it too. There seems to be some movement. Are there really lions and tigers? I'm not sure, but I did hear the sound of a tiger. That's right. When we entered the forest just now, I heard the tiger roar too. At this moment, in the forest, a group of fishermen gathered together and started discussing. They were all people who had come to the reservoir to fish. Then, they were attracted by the roars of tigers and lions in the forest. Only then did they gather to take a look. At this moment, the beautiful streamer Lil Su, who was mixed in the crowd, held the camera and explained, "Sweeties, you heard the commotion just now, right? We're going into the forest to see if there are really lions and tigers in there. The tiger roar just now was really too clear. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll encounter a tiger or something." At this point, the beautiful Lil Su was filled with anticipation and nervousness. She could not wait to see if it really was a tiger. At the same time, she was all nerves thinking about what she should do if it was really a tiger. What if the tiger attacked them? Lil Su thought of this question. She did not even know if these people had thought of it. These people wanted to see what was going on. However, they never thought that they would really encounter a tiger or lion. What if these large and ferocious animals attacked them? Although Lil Su had wondered about it, she did not say it out loud. That was because the popularity of her live broadcast had been increasing, so she chose to ignore this problem. Similarly, she was also hoping for a fluke. After all, they had an advantage in numbers. Even if they really encountered a tiger, it might not attack them, right? With the hope of getting lucky, she mingled with the crowd and prepared to watch the show. Just then, there was a cry of surprise from the crowd in front. F***CK. Tiger. It's a tiger. Also. Oh my god. What a huge python. It's freaking huge. Hearing this exclamation, the fishing audience surged forward. As expected, when they looked in the direction of the person who spoke, they indeed saw a shocking scene. In the forest about 200 meters away, a giant python that defied their understanding was fighting 5 Siberian tigers and a lion. These 5 Siberian tigers and the American lion were ganging up on the terrifying python. Seeing this scene, everyone present was stunned. They had never dreamed that their guess was actually true. What did they see? They actually saw 5 Siberian tigers. There was also an extremely huge lion. They were all ganging up on a terrifying python. What made their scalps tingle was the sheer size of the python. It was 20 meters long. Just looking at it from afar made them tremble. This is too F***king scary. Such a huge python. How is this possible? That python is probably 20 meters long. It's way too big. It's much thicker than a human. Also, did everyone notice that these 5 tigers are also very big? They should be Siberian tigers, right? Yeah. We're in the south. How can there be Siberian tigers here? And 5 of them at that. A Siberian tiger is nothing. I'm more curious about why there are lions in the country. And these lions are also very big. A lion is nothing. I really want to know why there's such a huge python here. Is it going to become a snake spirit? I know, right? This python is so big and powerful that 5 Siberian tigers and a lion actually ganged up on it. Do you think the python can win? Although this python is huge, these 5 Siberian tigers and that lion are obviously not to be trifled with. Heavens! I never dreamed that I would be able to see such a battle with my own eyes one day. For a time, all the spectators discussed animatedly, yet they were extremely shocked in their hearts. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, it would have been hard to imagine that there was such a huge python. In an instant, many people could not help but take out their phones and start taking photos. Similarly, the beautiful Lil Su was also dumbfounded. She quickly turned the camera to the scene of the battle in front of her and said excitedly, "Sweeties, look. There are 5 Siberian tigers and a lion. They're fighting a 20-meter-long python. At the same time, the viewers in the live stream could vaguely see the battle in the forest ahead. For a moment, the entire live stream was in an uproar. The popularity of the stream began to skyrocket, and the comments section scrolled past faster and faster. Dirty talker, F***CK. It's enormous. Didn't they say that the record for the world's largest python is only 15 meters long? Fishing prince, oh my god, that's crazy. Since when were there lions in this country? And those 5 tigers are too big. Brother Sea King Fishpond. Oh my god, that python is insanely big. If it wants to eat someone, it can easily swallow them whole, right? A single man's love song, host, leave quickly. If these big guys finish fighting, it will be difficult for you to escape. I love Little Miss, host, can you go closer? I want to see if the giant python has any body hair. Love is back, have a heart. Why the F***CK are you looking for the snake's body hair? You might as well ask for a shot of the tiger's butt. The popularity of the live stream kept rising, and the number of people entering the stream increased. Why? Because this scene was too unbelievable, of course. A 20-meter-long python. This was simply unprecedented. This was like a creature out of legend. This whole scene was too eye-catching. Many people would never have the chance to see something like this in their lives. At the same time, Meng Fei and the others in the distance could not help but frown when they saw the crowd. After pondering for a while, Meng Fei whispered, "Let's chase these people away." The gorilla and the big bear nodded, walking toward these people without a word. Roar roar. Meng Fei walked closer to the spectators and let out a low roar with a ferocious expression. Everyone, run. There's a tiger coming. Oh my god. The tiger is going to eat us. Run. F***CK, you stepped on my foot. F***CK, don't push me. Don't push me. The people who were originally enjoying the scene were all scared silly. They hurriedly fled in panic and fear. Not only that, but these people who were filming the video also ran faster and faster. Apparently, when they saw the Bengal tiger Meng Fei approaching them, they were all scared out of their wits. After they left, the Bengal tiger, Meng Fei, could not help but feel happy. He felt that these people were simply courting death. How were they able to come and watch the show so casually? The rules of the beast god space stated that they could not attack humans for no reason. Otherwise, he did not mind teaching these people a painful lesson. After Meng Fei cleared the area, these eyesores were scared away. Meanwhile, the battle in the distance was still continuing. However, the situation of the battle had taken an unexpected turn. Chapter 38. Intense bloodlust and slaughter. Just then, in the empty clearing where the battle raged, the lead tigress was still trying her best to bite Wang Mang. Suddenly, she froze. Then, there was a thud. The Siberian tiger fell weakly to the ground. Wang Mang's poison had already taken effect. She could not even last an hour. He looked at the Siberian tiger who had collapsed in front of him and was no longer twitching. He finally heaved a sigh of relief. The tigress was too powerful. She actually lasted for more than 40 minutes. The other Siberian tigers and the American lion that were biting Wang Mang could not help but despair. Big sis. Big sis. Sisters, avenge our big sister. Kill this python. The Siberian tiger sisters could not help but cry out in grief. They did not expect their big sister to die first and be eliminated. In an instant, the remaining 4 tigresses pounced at Wang Mang's head as if they had gone crazy. They looked as if they wanted to tear Wang Mang apart. They seemed incomparably crazy and fearless. Ah! All of you deserve to die. Wang Mang's eyes were bloodshot as he roared in pain. The Siberian tigers that pounced on him and bit his head as though mad with adrenaline. They rushed forward without a care. However, the 4 Siberian tigers had already lost their rationality. They looked like they did not care about their lives anymore. Wang Mang frantically moved his body, trying to wrap it around the 4 Siberian tigers that were biting him. What surprised Wang Mang was that although he did not manage to entangle 4 members, he unexpectedly managed to successfully entangle one of the Siberian tigers. Clearly, although these women who had lost their minds were fierce, they were also stupid. After easily wrapping around one of the Siberian tigers, Wang Mang began to increase his strength madly, crushing the Siberian tiger's bones before throwing her body away. After defeating another Siberian tiger, Wang Mang finally had the strength to break free. Previously, he was being mauled by 4 Siberian tigers. It was indeed very difficult for him to struggle free. Now that he had crippled one of the Siberian tigers, though, the pressure on Wang Mang had naturally reduced. Soon enough, Wang Mang seized another opportunity. He bit the forelimbs of one of the Siberian tigers with his bloody mouth. The Siberian tiger that was bitten did not have much of a reaction. Instead, she mauled him even more fiercely. Obviously, she also knew that she had been poisoned. Therefore, even if she died and failed the mission, she was determined to severely injure Wang Mang. As expected, the Siberian tiger that was bitten fell to the ground twitching in less than 10 minutes. Another Siberian tiger had lost her ability to fight. Wang Mang had already gotten rid of 2 of the 4 Siberian tigers surrounding him. Now, there were only 2 Siberian tigers that were still surrounding Wang Mang, as well as the American lion that was biting his tail without letting go. Previously, after Wang Mang had strangled a Siberian tiger to death, the American lion did not dare to be careless. He continued to bite Wang Mang's tail without letting go. The American lion clearly did not want to give Wang Mang a chance. Otherwise, Wang Mang would be able to kill these Siberian tigers even faster. However, after seeing that 2 Siberian tigers had been killed, the American lion knew that the situation was hopeless. While he felt helpless, the American lion had no other choice. After all, Wang Mang really was too powerful, so powerful that it made them feel despair. In a one-on-one fight, any one of them would be instantly killed by Wang Mang. Unless they chose to avoid the battle, they would basically be instantly killed. However, they did not expect that even in a group fight, they still could not defeat this super-powerful python demon. The situation was hopeless. They were basically helpless. As expected, a few minutes later, another Siberian tiger fell, lying on the ground and twitching weakly. "Ah! I'll kill you." Seeing this, the American lion let go and roared. In the next moment, he leaped and pounced at Wang Mang's head. Like a moth drawn to a flame, he and the other Siberian tiger bit Wang Mang on the head. Not only that, the lion's body was firmly pressed against Wang Mang's, preventing Wang Mang from using his poison fang to kill him. In an instant, Wang Mang's head and neck were covered in blood. The Siberian tigers had torn off a lot of his flesh and blood. In short, Wang Mang looked extremely miserable. These were all injuries left behind by these tigresses when they went berserk. Even though his super self-healing worked quickly, he was still bitten so badly. That just showed how ferocious those D***mned tigresses were. Fortunately, after fighting for so long, Wang Mang was finally on the verge of victory. Now, all that was left was this mad and desperate American lion and another Siberian tiger. In reality, though, Wang Mang had already won. After all, the lion and tiger teams had practically been wiped out. Now, only one Siberian tiger and the American lion were left. What could they do? Therefore, even though Wang Mang was mentally exhausted, he still forced himself to focus and deal with the 2 of them. He quietly moved his body, and then he used his tail, which had been coiled and ready, to fiercely whip at the American lion and the Siberian tiger. His sharp attack was like a fierce whip that whistled over with a gust of wind. Seeing this scene, the calm American lion was the first to react. Shocked, he hurriedly jumped away and quickly pulled away. He wanted to warn the remaining Siberian tiger, but it was too late. The Siberian tiger, who had already lost her mind from all the killing, did not react at all. There was a loud bang. There was also the sound of bones breaking. The Siberian tiger let out a high-pitched scream. Following that, the Siberian tigress was sent flying by Wang Mang's tail. In the end, her body fell to the ground a few meters away. She could barely even get up again. That was because Wang Mang's tail had broken her spine. Therefore, just like the Cape lion before her, she had completely lost her ability to fight. Not only that, she did not even have the strength to struggle. The Cape lion only had broken forelimbs, but he could no longer fight either. However, the tigress' spine was broken, so her situation was even more serious. She could only wait for death. Thus, from this moment onward, Wang Mang truly had the upper hand. Enduring the pain in his body, Wang Mang slowly moved his thick body and raised his snake head. There were bloody wounds all over his body. However, the grievous injuries were healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. It did not take long for Wang Mang's battered body to recover by more than half. At this moment, Wang Mang's cold bloodshot eyes looked forward, staring at the final American lion. Chapter 39. The Siberian Tigers and Lions, wiped out. When he saw the Siberian tiger twitching in pain in the distance, the American lion's heart was filled with despair. He knew that they had failed the mission. Because he was the only one left. This had been one of the rare few missions where they could obtain points. In the end, however, he encountered Wang Mang, and now the mission would end in heartbreak. His prediction was right. 10 minutes later, he was also easily dealt with. By now, Wang Mang had completely eliminated the so-called Big King and Little King's teams. However, after this battle, his arrogant attitude had also changed. To be honest, the 5 tigresses in Team Tiger Queen had left Wang Mang with a lingering fear. Their fiercely desperate attacks had indeed caused him unimaginably serious injuries. If not for his super self-healing, Wang Mang would probably be dead by now. Without super self-healing and peerless poison Fang, Wang Mang would definitely have died. Wang Mang's heart felt heavy at the thought, and he could not help but sigh with emotion. It seemed like he had to be more careful in the future. If not for the fact that Poison Fang had been upgraded, if not for the super self-healing ability, if not for his defense enhancement. Even if he was a terrifying 20-meter-long python, he might still die. Moreover, no matter how strong he was, he could not be stronger than firearms and weapons. In a way, this battle was extremely important to Wang Mang. It taught him a painful lesson. Before he was strong enough, it was better for him to grow as much as he could. Otherwise, he would trip up fatally one day. He almost lost this time. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was extremely worried. He even reconsidered entering the reservoir now. He had almost failed in the previous battle, after all. This caused Wang Mang to become even more cautious. At the same time, in contrast to Wang Mang's cautiousness, the 3 members of Meng Fei's team were extremely excited. After all, when Wang Mang fought earlier, he had rendered most of the lions and tigers unable to fight. Meng Fei's team only dealt the final blows most of the time. Just like that, they had already earned up to 2,000 points from the 2 teams. They had already struck the jackpot in this mission. After completing this mission, their combat strength would definitely soar to a terrifying level. Therefore, their level of excitement was understandable. They were all grinning from ear to ear. Furthermore, it was all thanks to Wang Mang that they were able to obtain such huge gains this time. Wang Mang had helped them get rid of the lion and tiger teams. In that case, the rest of the mission was simply a point harvest. For them. No wonder they were happy. Brother Python, if it weren't for you, we wouldn't have been able to complete such a crazy mission, Meng Fei said with emotion. He was telling the truth. He was just a Bengal tiger. His combat strength was at most comparable to an African lion. This time, however, they encountered 2 teams that made them despair. Be it Team Leonis or Team Tiger Queen, they were far beyond a small team like his. If Wang Mang had not appeared, this mission would have been a hunting ground for the tiger and lion teams. It was evident enough from the name of the mission, the 2 Kings Battle Royale Team Mission. This mission was mainly for the Big King and Little King's teams to hunt them down. When he was assigned such a mission, Meng Fei and the other 7 teams were filled with despair. Originally, he was prepared to survive until the end of the mission period, but after meeting Wang Mang, the tables were turned. With Wang Mang's help, they had turned from the hunted to the only remaining hunters. That's right. If not for Brother Python, we would probably still be hiding and trembling. It can't be helped. Team Leonis and Team Tiger Queen were too strong. We can't compare to such a team in a short period of time. The big bear and the gorilla hurriedly nodded in agreement. That was the truth. Without Wang Mang, they would still be hiding. Faced with Meng Fei and the other 2's flattery and gratitude, Wang Mang said calmly, "That's enough. Now, I've helped you solve your biggest problem. You should be able to handle the rest of the mission." Meng Fei immediately smiled and said confidently, "Of course, Brother Python. The rest of the prey will be beneath you. We can deal with the remaining situation ourselves." Wang Mang nodded in satisfaction. Then, Wang Mang slithered over to his prey. Under Meng Fei's somewhat fearful gaze, he moved over to the American lion from before and ate it. After devouring the American lion, the familiar voice of the system sounded in his mind. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have devoured the mutated American lion and obtained 2,000 evolution points. Hearing this voice, Wang Mang was delighted. He did not expect to obtain more evolution points than he had imagined. After that, Wang Mang continued to eat the 5 Siberian tigers and the other 4 lions. At the same time, the system's voice sounded continuously. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have devoured a mutated Cape lion and obtained 1,500 evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have devoured a mutated Siberian tiger and obtained 1,500 evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have devoured a mutated Siberian tiger and obtained 1,600 evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have devoured a mutated Siberian tiger and obtained 2,500 evolution points. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have devoured a mutated African lion and obtained 1,500 evolution points. An hour later, Wang Mang had finally finished devouring the 5 lions and 5 Siberian tigers. In an instant, the ground of the forest was drenched in blood. The air was also filled with the strong smell of blood. Of course, Wang Mang had gained plenty this time as well. These 5 Siberian tigers and 5 lions actually provided him with 16,000 evolution points. This was beyond Wang Mang's expectations, but he was not too surprised either. At the same time, Wang Mang also understood that the evolution points obtained from ordinary prey could only be measured by weight. However, the evolution points obtained after devouring extraordinary prey were completely different. At the same time, after Meng Fei's team had personally witnessed the scene of Wang Mang madly devouring 5 lions and 5 Siberian tigers, all 3 members felt their scalps go numb. The combined weight of these 5 Siberian tigers and 5 lions was at least 5 tons. However, even after eating so much, Wang Mang's body size did not change at all. How did that make any sense? Chapter 40. Devour. Obtained 15,000 evolution points. Was it because he was a demon? Perhaps that was the only explanation for what they had seen earlier. Although they were filled with doubts, they did not dare to ask Wang Mang. They were afraid of angering this monster. Now, they had a clearer and more terrifying understanding of Wang Mang's ferociousness and brutality. He was powerful. He was simply so powerful that it made people despair. He had almost no shortcomings. Be it in attack, defense, or life-saving methods, he was invincible. Or maybe not. If Wang Mang really did have a weakness worth mentioning, it would probably be his speed. Yes, other than speed, Meng Fei did not know what other shortcomings Wang Mang had. The problem was he could not keep running if he wanted to defeat Wang Mang, right? Could he outrun Wang Mang until the latter was drained of all his strength? No way. Therefore, Wang Mang was essentially perfect. Other than the fact that his movement speed was limited, Wang Mang did not have any shortcomings in battle. He had offense. He had defense. He even had his own healing method. That was also why Wang Mang had successfully killed 5 Siberian tigers and 5 lions in this battle. Of course, Wang Mang had also thought about it. If 5 Siberian tigers and 5 lions joined forces to attack him, he might not be able to defeat them. After all, the 5 Siberian tigers had already put him at a disadvantage earlier. If not for Wang Mang defeating them one by one, the outcome of the battle would actually have been a little uncertain. Fortunately, he had managed to defend his ferocious image. Now, Meng Fei would never break his promise unless he was not afraid of meeting Wang Mang again. Besides, Wang Mang had helped Meng Fei so much and given his team so many benefits. All he wanted was for them to deal with a rookie team like Wang Teng's. Meng Fei would not go back on his word for such a trivial matter. Thinking of this, Wang Mang was in a good mood. He said, "Meng Fei, you guys go and carry out your mission. I'm going back to my nest." With that, under the respectful gazes of Meng Fei's team, he disappeared into the forest. By the time Wang Mang returned to his nest, his wounds were almost healed. Panther, who was standing guard outside Wang Mang's cave, saw that its master had returned. It greeted Wang Mang, shaking his head. Seeing this scene, Wang Mang was amused, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. He wondered why Panther refused to leave the nest all this time. Wang Mang guessed that it was probably because the dog's nose was relatively sharp, and it could smell a large predator nearby. Therefore, Panther was unwilling to leave the nest no matter what. That was because Wang Mang's scent lingered strongly around the cave. Ordinary predators did not dare to approach at all. After smelling Wang Mang's scent, they would know that the nearby territory was already claimed by an apex predator. Moreover, animals were highly territorial. If they still stepped into another animal's territory after picking up the scent, it would be a blatant provocation. This was also an unwritten rule that animals of the world followed since the beginning of time. Of course, the small to medium-sized herbivores and small to medium-sized carnivores were an exception. They did not care whose territory it was. There were traces of their activities everywhere. In addition, most large predators allowed them to roam. After all, these small and medium-sized predators were here for small and medium-sized prey. Their strength could not threaten the owner of the territory. Therefore, many large predators allowed them to exist in their own territory. After returning to the nest, Wang Mang coiled up on a huge rock and fell into deep thought. Ever since this battle, although Wang Mang had won, he was no longer so eager to enter his own reservoir. In addition, there were so many people fishing in the reservoir. Wang Mang had also become much more cautious. He decided to take his time with this matter. Clearly, the previous battle had made Wang Mang worry that he would fail miserably. After all, he only had one life to live. Wang Mang decided to enter the reservoir after evolving a few more times to become stronger. If 20 meters was not enough, he would grow until he was 25 meters. What, 25 meters were not enough? Then he would evolve to 30 meters. With this mentality, Wang Mang decided to evolve a few more times. Moreover, Wang Mang guessed that it would be troublesome for him to enter the reservoir for a while. This was because he had been discovered fighting the 5 Siberian tigers. Wang Mang had been fighting when the crowd gathered, so he naturally did not have the time to pay attention to them. However, this did not mean that Wang Mang had not seen anything earlier. On the contrary, he saw everything. However, in the previous battle, he had already gone berserk and could not care less. Although Meng Fei had also chased away all the fishing people who had gathered to watch, news of the previous battle had already spread. There were probably many people filming videos at the time, right? That was why Wang Mang decided to behave himself for a few days and evolve a few more times. He would wait until the chatter around the incident had died down. Wang Mang's guess was right. By now, many people had already left the reservoir. However, there were still some people who did not leave. They were still fishing and discussing excitedly. To be honest, I won't be able to forget that scene for the rest of my life. It's more than that. The fight was insanely brutal. A super python versus 5 Siberian tigers and a lion. F***CK, I swear, I've never seen such a huge tiger. And I've never seen such a huge python. I know, right? I can brag about this for the rest of my life. Oh right. I didn't take a video just now. Did any of you take a video? Remember to send it to me. Haha. I took a picture and posted it on my WeChat moments. Me too. I posted the video on TikTok. These people were all fishermen who had joined in the fun earlier and were discussing animatedly. If not for the Bengal tiger, they would have continued watching. At the same time, they were also very curious about the outcome of the earth-shattering battle in the forest. Did the terrifying super python win? Or did the 5 huge Siberian tigers and lions win? Who would emerge victorious? At this moment, a fishing young man invited excitedly, "Why don't we take a look again?" Hearing this, the middle-aged men who were fishing shook their heads and said with lingering fear, "Forget it, let's not go. It's too scary." The other fishermen also nodded. Yeah. It was too scary. When that tiger roared and walked towards me, to be honest, I almost peed my pants. That's right. What if we encounter tigers and lions again, and they attack us? Young men, don't play around with your life. We can't afford to offend these ferocious beasts or giant pythons. the young fisherman was a little unwilling to bend and asked again, "Don't you want to know the outcome of the battle? Don't you want to know who won? The super python? Or the 5 Siberian tigers and the lion?" Chapter 41. 41 The videos go viral. 41 The videos go viral. Young man, although I'm also very curious about who won, I really don't want to court death. That's right. Young man, you're young and you ran the fastest earlier. Middle-aged people like us can't outrun you when we encounter danger. Speaking of this, I'm angry. When we were running earlier, you young people even pushed us middle-aged people away. You ran very quickly. That's right. You don't know how to respect the old and cherish the young at all. When we were running for our lives, we, the older ones, fell. Why didn't you help us? These middle-aged men shook their heads and refused, and all of them spoke logically. Although they were indeed very curious, they could still hold back their curiosity. After all, sometimes curiosity killed the cat. What if they were eaten by a tiger when they entered the forest? The Siberian tiger was a protected species. Moreover, it was a level 1 protected species. Even if they did not encounter a tiger, a wild boar, or a bear, it was still enough to make them suffer. Moreover, what they were most afraid of was the super python that was even bigger than the one in the movies. Now, just thinking about the scene they saw made their hair stand on end and their scalps tingle. Therefore, they naturally did not dare to enter the deep mountain forests again. Seeing this, no matter how unwilling the young man was, he could only nod helplessly. He knew that it was impossible to convince these people to go with him. Besides, he did not have the guts to go alone. These middle-aged uncles were afraid of death, but so was he. Therefore, when he saw that these uncles were unwilling to go, he gave up on this idea. Moreover, as the sky gradually turned dark, they began to leave one after another. Similarly, when Elder Yang received the news, he immediately asked his 2 sons to chase everyone away. This was because Elder Yang had also learned that a Siberian tiger and an apex predator like a lion had appeared in the forest near the reservoir. It was even said that there was a super python that was more than 20 meters long. As soon as he received the news, Elder Yang immediately told the boss the news in detail. As a result, Mr. Wang immediately told him to chase away all the people fishing in the reservoir. Only then did he follow the orders and start chasing people away in advance. It was not even dark yet, but he had already started chasing people away. And so, as Elder Yang's sons shooed them off, all the people who came to the reservoir to fish were also chased away. But was the situation over just like that? No. Far from it. On the contrary, the commotion caused by this matter was beyond everyone's expectations. These people had seen the battle between the super python, the 5 Siberian tigers, and the lions. When they returned home, as expected, they posted all the videos they had taken online. Not only that, these rare videos quickly went viral across the entire internet. After they went viral, the response and popularity they caused exceeded everyone's imagination. These videos began to appear on various major video social media platforms. They were all popular recommended videos. In addition, people from the Animal Protection Association or other relevant departments were also involved in the investigation of this matter. In short, the video of Wang Mang battling with 5 Siberian tigers and an American lion had gone viral on the internet. If the incident surrounding the water monster in Huanshan Reservoir a few days ago had pushed the reservoir to the peak of the storm, then these videos only confirmed those suspicions. As such, the viral videos had Huanshan Reservoir and the battle of the super python versus the 5 tigers and 1 lion trending worldwide. The video of Wang Mang fighting 5 Siberian tigers and a lion had already caused a heated discussion on the internet. Similarly, what Wang Mang did not know was that even his father was alarmed. Ever since they heard this news, his parents were also rushing back to his side. There was no other reason. Wang Mang's father had simply guessed that the super python fighting these 5 Siberian tigers and a lion was very likely their son. Therefore, they were very worried that something would happen to Wang Mang, so they had already taken a bus back to the mountain overnight. Of course, the culprit behind all of this, Wang Mang, was still completely unaware. What Wang Mang knew was that if this matter spread, it would probably cause a huge commotion. This was what Wang Mang had expected. Therefore, after Wang Mang returned from the battle, he obediently hid in his nest. Similarly, he also decided that he would not leave the nest during the day. At the same time. At this moment, on the internet. Many people were shocked by the videos after watching them. Recently, there were always strange animal injuries. There were occasional rumors everywhere. For example, some time ago, someone captured a creature suspected to be a dragon in the water during the Chiantang River's high tide. There were also many videos overseas. In the Amazon rainforest, many videos of large animals fighting were filmed. There were even videos of many animals appearing in schools. Many people were confused by this. There were even many people who wondered if there had been some unknown changes on Earth. Because recently, there had been frequent rumors about animals, which made many people uneasy. Now that they saw Wang Mang's video, they were even more shocked. Whether it was the 5 Siberian tigers or the lions in the video. They were all too big. The tiger seemed to have grown to the point of breaking the limits of the Siberian tiger. What was even more unbelievable was that Wang Mang's size was too terrifying. He was a 20-meter-long super python. That python was too big. It was so big that it made people despair. Such a huge python could easily swallow a person. Therefore, these videos were really popular on the internet. I think it can easily eat a few people, right? More than that. This python is too big. Is it any different from in the movies? Oh my God, could it be that the Earth's spiritual energy has recovered? Have all the different races awakened? Hey OP, you must have read too many novels. The spiritual energy has recovered. Ha! This is too scary. Is that a Siberian tiger? Why is it different from what I saw in the zoo? That's right. The tigers I saw in the zoo feel like babies compared to these tigers. I'm very curious. Where did this wild lion come from in our country? And it's such a big lion too. It's actually about the size of those 5 Siberian tigers. This is too scary. What's wrong with Earth recently? Is nature taking revenge on humans? Chapter 42, 42 Don't Make Me Start a Massacre. 42 Don't Make Me Start a Massacre. A few days ago, I met a rat in my yard that bit my cat to death. I have a friend. I heard that he was a snake hunter. Half a month ago, he died at the hands of a poisonous snake. It seems that we humans have gone too far. Nature is punishing us, right? There were countless heated discussions like this. Just from the popularity of the videos, it could be roughly seen how much impact the videos had caused when they spread. Of course, there were also people who had different opinions about the videos. For example, at this moment, in a luxurious villa in Shanghai. In a luxuriously decorated and brightly lit bedroom. A beautiful girl was looking at the video on her phone with a pale face. She was the daughter of a rich family on the outside, but she had another identity. She was a member of the beast god Space. Moreover, she was the little poodle that had once toyed with Wang Mang. In the video, she saw the team that had once chased after her, Meng Fei's team. What made her feel even more incredulous and uneasy was that this giant python looked so familiar. Moreover, the location of the incident was near the reservoir. Wait. Could it be the python demon that she had once played a trick on? At the thought of this, Lu Xue's pretty face turned pale and she became a little afraid. She was worried that the location of the next mission would still be near the reservoir. If that was the case, she could not imagine the consequences. If she fell into Wang Mang's hands, how would this super python deal with her? Moreover, what made Lu Xue panic even more was that not only did this python look familiar, but it also seemed to be related to Meng Fei. Damn it. Did that python join forces with the Bengal Tigers team? But Meng Fei and the others don't have money either. Why would the python help Meng Fei's team? Lu Xue started to feel uneasy. She had watched the video at least a few times before confirming that the super python was the one she had once toyed with. However, at this thought, Lu Xue started to panic. She did not expect the python demon she had toyed with to grow up to 20 meters in such a short period of time. If she was unlucky and met Wang Mang on the next mission, she would probably be in deep trouble, right? Thinking of this, Lu Xue became even more nervous and afraid. She even had a vague guess. Would Wang Mang get Meng Fei's team to deal with her in the future? The more she thought about it, the more she felt that it was possible. It's over. That python demon is probably angry at me after what happened. That's why it reached an agreement with Meng Fei. It told Meng Fei's team to kill me if they encountered me in the future mission. Thinking of this, Lu Xue's beautiful face was filled with bitterness and became distressed. If Wang Mang were here, he would definitely be shocked. Lu Xue, this little poodle, had a high IQ. Of course, despite her worries, Lu Xue had no other choice. She could only pray that the next mission location would not appear near the reservoir. Of course, other than attracting the attention of onlookers, these videos also attracted the attention of many people. Among them were local experts and people with ill intentions. Similarly, there was also another group of unknown people. Wang Mang had no idea about this news or the heated discussions on the internet. However, on the second day, Wang Mang indeed discovered that there were too many people coming to the entire reservoir. How many, exactly? There were so many of them that Wang Mang could hear footsteps and several voices coming from outside the nest. There are too many people here today. Yeah. There are at least 1,000 people here today. Don't even mention it. There will probably be more after some time. Right now, Huanshan Reservoir is almost as popular as those viral hotspots. That's right. You didn't see it, but when I arrived, I noticed that there were too many cars in the entire village. At this moment, 3 men and 3 women were wandering in the forest outside the cave. They came to the reservoir early in the morning with the intention of joining in the fun. At the same time, they wanted to search the forest to see if they could see the active footprints of large ferocious beasts. However, to their disappointment, they did not find any lions or tigers. In addition, they were not the only ones. There were many people who came to the reservoir this time, but no one had seen a large ferocious beast. It was as though the large beasts in the video were short-lived. There were so many people today. They looked around in the forest of the nearby reservoir, but they could not find any footprints. On the other hand, they saw wild forest animals like wild boars, foxes, and hares. At this moment, among the people who were sweeping the surroundings aimlessly, a boy suddenly said, "Look, there seems to be a cave ahead." As the boy spoke, his other 5 companions looked over. As expected, behind a bush in front of him was a huge and vast cave. After seeing this cave, the 6 people present were a little curious. The men who had spoken earlier could not help but say excitedly, "Do you think there might be tigers and lions living in this cave?" Upon hearing this, the other 5 companions' eyes lit up as they nodded and discussed. "It's really possible." "That's right. I heard that large ferocious beasts like tigers like to play in caves. Why don't we go take a look?" The 6 of them discussed animatedly. At the same time, they curiously walked toward the entrance of the cave. Wang Mang's heart sank when he heard the commotion outside the cave. He did not understand. Were these guys stupid? If there were really tigers living in the cave, wouldn't they be courting death if they dared to come to the cave? To be honest, Wang Mang wanted to curse at these guys. He seriously suspected that he had encountered 6 idiots. Otherwise, what were these guys thinking? Running into the cave to see if there were tigers. It would be fine if there were none, but what if there were tigers in here? After all, Wang Mang was in this cave. Thinking of this, Wang Mang's heart became heavy. If these guys really wanted to die, Wang Mang did not have too many misgivings. It was just killing a few people. If Wang Mang had not been a human in his previous life, he would not have minded devouring a few people. It was just that Wang Mang was a human in his previous life, so he felt a bit disgusted. Of course, this was all under the condition that Wang Mang's life was not threatened. If someone threatened him, Wang Mang naturally did not mind nipping any threat in the bud. When he heard the approaching footsteps outside the cave, Wang Mang's mood became gloomier and gloomier. Don't seek death. Please don't force me to start a massacre. Part 2 of the series ends here. Thank you for watching and listening. If you find it interesting, please give us a like, a comment and a subscription so that we have the motivation to make the next videos.